See, the usual gang of misfits and dope addicts are here.
It's a little much for the morning, isn't it?
No, it's just
Oh,
right.
my God.
Just right.
Because on this day...
Well, women of a certain age know that in 1984,
Wow.
Prince started a 24-week run at the top of the charts with Purple Rain, his sixth studio album, sold over 20 million copies worldwide, becoming the seventh best-selling soundtrack of all time.
I wish I hadn't read this about that song. Common to much of Prince's writing, the song is thought to be an exhortation to follow Christian ethics.
Is it?
Yeah. And I went and started looking at the lyrics. Yep. But if I didn't really know that before, because I didn't pay that much attention to the lyrics, just the overall sound of the song, which I really quite like. Now
Why would you let that ruin it for you?
Because it's a proselytizing song that I don't care for. I don't care for Prince telling me to follow Christian ethics.
You don't have to follow it.
Well,
you don't have to do what Prince says.
I don't have to listen to the song, do I?
But if you...
He talks about the D elevator, which is what I think Frank Chris, when he takes souls, he puts them on the D elevator. And the D elevator lyrics being a metaphor for the devil, it says here.
The D elevator?
Yeah. Takes them right down to the waiting room there.
Trying to think, if it is Christian, it's not really obvious. It seems more like a song that's a tribute to futility to me.
It's pretty obvious. Look, shall I read a couple
of the
lyrics?
Go ahead.
Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today. Well, we know that.
Yeah.
To get through this thing called life.
Yeah.
The afterworld, a world of never-ending happiness. Of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night.
Okay.
So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one, Dr. Everything will be all right.
Yeah.
Instead of asking him how much of your time is left, ask him how much of your mind, baby, because in this life, things are much harder than in the afterworld. This life, you're on your own.
Oh, yeah?
And if the D elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy and punch a higher floor.
Okay.
Don't go to the devil. If you don't like the world you're living in, take a look around. At least you've got friends. Come on, lady, for the friendly word. She picked up the phone, dropped it on the floor.
I don't hear anything upsetting in anything you just read.
It's a call to follow Christian ethics.
Says who? I'm asking where you got that from. I've never heard that.
Well,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Prince had weird God stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it's in that song.
Weird God stuff.
I don't hear any of it.
Matter of fact, that was one of his albums.
Weird God stuff.
Weird God stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to debate this with you.
I'm curious where you got that from.
I'm reading it on Wikipedia, but it's other places as well.
Well,
if it makes you, once you read the lyrics for "Darling Nikki," that'll make you feel better.
That's not weird God stuff.
No, it isn't.
That's the opposite of. That's way over here.
I mean, it's weird, but it's not God stuff. That's for sure.
I don't know. It's just. I'm just being silly. I like the song. But I never thought of it quite like that. And now that I have,
you don't have to.
Yeah,
Can't
I do now.
Just be what it is, the impression you have of it, and just let it lie there.
Well, yeah, I suppose so, Gina. Inquiring minds don't do that, however. I know you like to just let things be what they are and let them lie there without really looking underneath to see what's going on.
Sometimes that's okay.
Take
me with you.
Wow. You probably have this album.
Oh, yeah, don't.
Seriously.
Carrie, please.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think there's a song on here she won't get. Gina?
Baby, baby. This is the part of the movie where... So, let me tell you.
Okay.
Apollonia.
Hold on, let me get comfy.
Hang on. Gina's going to explain it all for us.
Apollonia has been with Morris Day.
Oh, no.
And they've been practicing this new group. And Prince thinks she's been cheating on him.
Mm-hmm.
What's it going to do? You want him or do you want me? Him being Morris Day.
Yeah.
Me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a point in this where he starts screaming at her from stage, and she gets so upset she runs out of the club.
I would have too. He was a jerk in this movie. You got to admit.
Yes.
Well, it was because of that awful Clarence Williams III, his dad.
He was a jerk in this movie.
Yeah, you can't. But he was.
Wendy?
Oh, here you go.
Yes, Lisa.
Computer blue.
Is the water warm?
Yeah, this is not Jesus-y at all.
Yes, Lisa.
Well, this isn't Let's Go Crazy.
Yes, Lisa.
This makes me just want to go watch the movie, but fast forward to the concert parts.
Yeah, because the rest of the movie's
Oh,
kind
it's
of
terrible.
bad.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's
Clarence
a-
Williams III
I
is
would
terrible as his father.
Yep. Well, I
Baby,
guess
I'm
we-
a Star. This is the last.
Well, I guess
song
we
of
could
the
have played
movie.
this instead.
Yeah,
Think about it.
there's no God in this at all. I love this song.
Travis the Pie Man here. I think Bill's been listening to Prince albums backwards to find out their hidden meaning.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. I'm watching this later. I like the Morris Day parts of the movie and the concert stuff. Other than that, it's pretty terrible.
Do you own the movie, though?
Yes.
On
I
a
don't have
physi-
anything to play it
A
on.
physical copy you
Yes.
have.
A VHS tape.
No, I have I have a DVD,
Oh.
but I don't have anything to play
You
it
don't
on.
have a DVD player. Because you know my mantra now. Physical media.
Yeah.
But do you have a Blu-ray that you play
Yes.
things on?
Two of them.
I have a Blu-ray and VHS, or not. I don't have a. I still have that same old VHS player recorder.
See, luckily I got, like, here's an example. The Venture Brothers complete episodes
Okay.
collection.
Yeah.
On the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Or DVD, whatever. They just pulled them off of HBO Max, all of them.
So if you didn't have them, you wouldn't have them.
I could not watch them.
This Festus, my sailor son, has always been an advocate of physical copies of things. He has.
I used to be, and then I thought, well, in that instance that you just cited, Carrie, that's a good example of to do it. But
We all did the same thing.
but I used to hang on, and then I thought, I'm just going to die. What then?
Well,
What? So
it's not your problem, is it?
well, I mean, but so I got.
They'll throw it away. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know, but
I'll tell you, it's easy.
although I just threw away all my old spy magazines, and now I feel bad.
Ooh, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I would have kept those.
I think I gave them to the library. So maybe
Oh, so
maybe
it
they'll
got-
use them.
It got good use.
Maybe they'll use them.
But physical media, because they're doing it. I mean, I own all of the Harvey Birdman episodes because I know that one's next. Because I'm the old, that show was made just for me.
How often do you watch something on Blu-ray?
Not often.
But it's nice to know you have it.
How often does your wife go out of town? That's the question.
That's when I pull out the
That's
Watchmen director's cut.
that's
Yeah,
what
the
you-
ultimate cut.
Now, see, I found another analysis of Let's Go Crazy. It doesn't really mention Christian themes in this analysis. It just says, Prince says, go out and seize life
Yeah.
and live it while you can. And so now I feel better.
Okay,
That's,
good.
That's what I always thought the song was about. Oh, well, there we go. Down the Prince hole.
This has been Farting Around with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96, Radio from Hell.
All right, we'll take a break here, and then we'll come back. Man, I'm running slow today. I got up and thought it was my regular time, and it wasn't. It was an hour late.
Oh.
I got up an
Oh.
hour late, and so I sat around doing what I normally do, and then I realized, wait a minute,
That's not correct.
I'm an. Oh
an
my
hour-
God! Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's take a break. 877-602-9696. That's the number to call and check in with the Radio from Hell show on Friday. You can also text us 33986.
All right. We'll get right to it. BigOTires.com.
Right now at Big O Tires, all of the ones along the Wasatch Front, I believe, You come in, you buy 3 and you get 1 free on select sets of tires. That's through August 20th at they're calling it the Let's Roll sale.
Well, they're tires.
Yeah.
They're
They're
rolling.
tires.
Oh, I see.
I get it.
They're round.
Big O Tires. I go to the one on 2nd East and South Temple. Great people there. Big O does more than just sell tires, though.
All kinds of stuff. Oil changes, alignments, wipers, fluid, batteries, brakes, wheels, shocks, AC, all of that. And it's hot. And your tires, the grooves in your tires help cool the tires down. So if your tires are bald, it's going to cause you some trouble.
I just got an oil change a couple of weeks ago at a Big O Tire store. I made the appointment to get that oil change online. I went to my regular store, but I made the appointment the night before. I just went to bigotires.com, found the store, found an appointment time, and it worked beautifully. So do the same. bigotires.com. They are the team you trust.
We know that.
Like, which is weird for me. I don't usually have that.
You
And-
usually don't have any blood pressure at all.
It's true. I'm
yeah.
usually very slow pulse and low blood pressure. So we're in the investigation portion of trying to find out what's causing that. And yesterday she sent me a message saying, I need you to come in for an 8 a.m. blood test. And yes, it has to be at 8 a.m. And I'm like, she's like, I know you work, but it has to be at 8
It
a.m.
was for the doctor's convenience, I'm sure.
So I'm confused. So I go to her office this morning and I asked the nurse, why this 8 a.m. blood test? And she said it's an 8 a.m. cortisol test. And yes, it has to be done first thing in the morning because that's the time of day when the numbers are most likely to be high.
But that's
and-
a time of day for normal people.
Exactly.
We're up at 3.
Exactly. But the lab is not. So
Oh,
the
so-
lab opens at 8.
So the results of your test that are are very important to your health,
Yeah.
Dubious at best.
are
So
strictly at the whims of when the lab opens.
And I've had so much blood taken the last 2 weeks. And the nice lady that takes the blood, it's always from the same spot.
Why?
And,
Why don't you don't have to do that?
well, that's just the way her room's set up. It's the
No,
chair.
no,
and the,
no, God. Gina! Oh, that's just the way her room
Well,
is set up.
that's where the table is.
Nonsense.
But she uses this tape, like, afterwards
Yeah.
to put, like, a cotton ball there.
Uh-huh.
And so I have ripped this tape off the same part of my arm, like, 3 times in the last week.
Gina, no.
I think I'm
say,
It
I,
hurt.
you say, I need it to be in another spot. You don't have
Can
to
you
do
not
that.
use the icky tape?
Good
that-
God. Most phlebotomists play, they have those chairs that the thing flips and they can do it from either side.
Yeah,
And
it just-
so if she's just got a table set up, you can turn your chair around.
And-
it's the way it
And
was.
it shouldn't be the way that the chair is sit. You should extend both arms and say, which one do you like?
Yeah, huh?
And they can look and say, oh, that looks like a good one right there.
But it's the tape. I hate the tape.
The tape is.
It's your own fault.
So that's sorry, and I appreciate Jimmy hopping in and.
Well, he was
helping out
good.
this
I
morning.
think
I was
we ought to
surprised.
we ought to ask him to do it every week.
Maybe it was part of his whole planning and scheme to psych out the other person because he made it sound like, oh, I don't know pop culture.
And then he was
And
right
then
on
He
it.
just nailed it.
All of them. He even got an actual trivia question.
Really?
Yes. It's like out of these 4 women, only one of them was not dated by Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
And there wasn't a joke answer. There were 4.
it could have been any
and
of
he
them.
didn't hesitate.
And he answered it correctly. Did you hear it?
No, let me hear what it.
Let me see how you do.
Okay.
All right. Which of the following women has Justin Timberlake not dated?
Okay.
Now, wait, which part of your brain would you like to answer this with?
The right or the left? Britney Spears, Jessica Biel, Cameron Diaz, or Christina Aguilera?
Cameron Diaz.
No,
No.
He dated Cameron Diaz.
he did.
Oh, he didn't date Christina Aguilera.
Very good.
Okay.
But Jimmy,
Bam, hit it.
right away.
Ah.
I was
He went, that'd be Christina Aguilera.
blown away. Blown
Huh.
away.
You know why? Because Jimmy's dated all of them.
I
That's
guess
right.
so.
He's talked to them all. over with.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. We will officially begin the program in just a second here, and then we'll go to your check-ins at 877-602-9696, if you have a mind to do it. Check in, say hi. We like to hear from you, and it's okay. So you can also text us, 33986. Do we have a sponsor here, Gina?
Yes, UFirst Credit Union. You can earn extraordinary rewards. Learn more about UFirst rewards checking at uFirstCU.com.
The moon is a waning gibbous moon, 88.8% of full. You'll see the next full moon will be August 30th. So we'll have another full moon right at the end of the month. The moon will set today at 9:55 a.m., today being Friday. It's the 4th day of August in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2023. And once again, coming to you live and direct from high atop the second story of the massive Broadway Media Broadcasting Corporation Tower, it's the show for people who feel like hell in the morning. And this is the Let's Go Crazy edition of Radio from Hell with the all-star lords of morning radio. Kerry Jackson. I'm Bill Allred. All-star Gina Barberi right over there. Katie for short is our fine producer. And we have Jay and Dawson helping out as well. It's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
Oh!
The world's largest chocolate chip cookie ever made.
Yes.
Weighed 38,000 pounds. And it was 102 feet in diameter.
Wow.
It's National White Wine Day. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. White wine. Time to relax and treat yourself to a crisp little tipple, it says here. And it's Single Working Women's Day. If you are a single working woman,
I have been one.
Celebrate today by taking the day off. All right? All right.
You married ones can't. You gotta work.
You gotta go to work.
All right, let's begin. 877-602-9696. It's Triple H Speed Racer.
Good morning in Draper. Oh, did I hear there's flooding in
Yeah.
Draper this morning? Did I hear?
Last night, yeah.
Yeah, well, not in my neighborhood, but yeah, I heard there's some bad stuff going on.
Yeah. So how's your racing career?
Well, okay, so the race was supposed to be at Snowbird Tuesday, and so all afternoon I get all like nervous, excited, and like all this adrenaline as I get ready for the race.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was canceled due to the rain. So it's just weird, like the emotions, you get so excited, and then usually when I'm, they get out of my body as I work really hard in the race, but this time they didn't.
They're just stuck there.
Yeah, well, I don't know. What
They
are you
were
going to
just stuck
do?
there.
What do you do?
Well, we ended up going to the Smashing Pumpkins concert, which was really fun.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a way to
Yeah.
that's a way to release some endorphins.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Okay.
All right. When's your next
Thanks.
race?
It's going to be next week, and it's far away. It's up at Nordic Valley, which is kind of a bummer,
Let's.
but that's okay.
Why is that a
It'll
bummer?
take you a good 45 minutes to an hour to get there,
That's why it's a bummer,
Exactly.
the drive.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks for
Thank you.
checking in.
All right, thanks.
Let's see. I would like to congratulate my wife, Melanie, for finishing her clinicals in Springville this week.
Excellent.
So whoever that was has a wife named Melanie in Springville. Let's see.
It's Mr. Melanie.
Checking in from Los Angeles, finally woke up early enough to hear the live show rather than the podcast. Totally worth it for some quality farting around.
Well, keep doing that.
And did we get on this day because? Yes. Yes, you did.
84, Purple Rain.
So go walk in the middle of a movie and demand to know what happened. Let's see. I was at the Offspring concert last night, and they canceled it
Yeah.
right before
Katie
the
was
Offspring.
there.
Right
Why?
before the Offspring came out, lightning.
Oh.
Bummer. And I wonder if or when they will come back for a rescheduled show.
I saw Noodles tweeting about it. He said, "We're super bummed. We'll be back." No, Offspring's always coming.
Says hell of a light show for some 41 though.
They opened.
Yeah. Peterbilt Brian checking in. Glad it's Friday. It's been a long week.
That would be really. That just would be terrible, though. You're at a concert and they just
The band's backstage. They're ready,
They're ready
to
to
come on.
go.
sorry.
Can't do it.
Can't
Last
do
night
it.
was crazy, though.
It
I
was,
mean, There was, Katie was there. Tell us.
As I sit here in my Offspring shirt that I was so excited to buy and wear at the show and didn't.
It's for Smash.
It was really cool. Being here and working on concerts and stuff. As soon as I saw the rolling in storm and we saw the lightning, I pulled out my lightning tracker because soccer coaches, and we kept an eye on it. And it was 5.9 miles away, 4.9 miles away, and then it hit. And we were hoping it was going to go around us. It didn't. It did look beautiful, and I thought they were going to call it during Sum 41. They didn't.
They let the band finish and then called it.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Sum 41 isn't as important as Austin.
True.
Right,
They
no,
could,
of course.
They could get struck
Get them hit by lightning.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was a great show to see at least Sum 41 and Simple Plan, which was really fun. But we were hoping, there was a lot of hope, and we stayed.
I was going to say, you got home early then, didn't you?
We did, but we also pushed the limits because we stayed until security came and was like forcing everybody to leave because
What
we
was
really.
I'm sorry, what was the venue again?
USANA.
Oh, was it USANA?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was right outside. So,
Yeah.
but it was
It's
a great
a liability for them. If
show. Oh
you're,
yeah, no.
yeah,
I
huge.
again, working this, I saw it rolling in, and I knew it was going to happen.
Didn't we
but
have
I tried.
Didn't we have a big ass show that was plagued by lightning?
It was it was plagued. We never shut it down though. It
came
stayed
close.
just far. It was
Yeah.
very close.
Yeah, as long as it's 5 miles out, you're safe. But the minute it hits closer to that, you're done.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Katie.
All right. Let's see what Michael has to say.
Good morning, Michael.
Hi.
Hi. Where are you?
I'm up in Heber,
Okay, and what's up?
Heber City. So I was listening on my drive home from work. I work night. I was listening to your best of, and you read a letter from Kyle.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was always affecting me. Oh, yeah. And you mentioned something about really difficult disease to study.
I'm sorry.
Michael,
I
you're
know
break-
you're
you-
emotional, but we can't hear you.
You're
Your
breaking
phone's
up
Yeah,
not
or
your
here.
phone is breaking up or something.
All right, let me try. How's this? Is this better?
A little bit.
You sound like you're in a
Hey,
bathroom.
Go ahead.
Let me switch off of.
I'm having trouble.
Right. Well, so I was listening to you guys on my way home from work,
We got that part.
and you read a letter from Kyle.
Letter from Kyle. Yes.
And you mentioned how difficult of a disease to study.
Okay, we
And
can't.
remind me of an article.
I don't know if you're on a speaker
or
or phone
you're-
or what. Can you try calling us back? I know you're upset, and I'd like to hear from you, but we can't.
We're having a hard
understand
time
I'm
understanding
sorry.
you.
Yeah, I'll hang up and call back.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye. All right. Let's see.
Oh, my brother in Phoenix is checking in.
Your brother.
David. Is
Oh,
checking
okay.
By the way, that call from Heber, that's the reason that most consultants say, well, don't take live phone calls,
Exactly.
you guys.
And if you're calling, but just a couple tips if you're calling in. Don't be on speaker. It never sounds
Never
good.
works. No. Let's see. Tyler here. I think people read too much into music. Disagree, Tyler.
Except for Bill with Purple Rain.
That's
Other
kind of
than
what
that-
that's kind of what music is for.
Yeah.
I mean, not all the time.
Well, no, I mean, we use, Better Man by Pearl Jam as a prime example. A lot of people use that at their wedding. Go take a look at the lyrics.
Yeah.
That's not,
you ought to be reading something into that.
yeah. Salem Steve checking in. Zane checking in on my way to work. Tomorrow is the day I get married to the love of my life.
Zane sent us an invitation to his wedding. Did
Yes.
you see that?
I saw that. I won't be there, Zane. Just so you know.
I replied, I can't make it.
We're with you in spirit, Zane.
Indeed. Let's try Michael one more time. Michael?
Okay,
Hello, is this better?
much better.
Yes.
Now, Michael, we know letter from
Okay.
Kyle. You were driving home from work. Letter from Kyle. Go start from there.
All right. You mentioned how it's a difficult disease to study, and reminded me of an article from NPR about a disease similar, Huntington's disease. How they actually had to study the root of it. They had to basically use a single neuron, single cell, as a petri dish. And everything from Kyle is kind of
Yes.
heavy for me because Huntington's disease runs in my family,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
and I've been pre-diagnosed with it.
yeah.
So hearing his letters is
Yeah.
really helpful for me.
Have you been
And I appreciate you guys sharing this with them.
sure? You say you've been diagnosed or
Pre-diagnosed.
pre-diagnosed. Does that
Yeah.
necessarily mean that you will have it?
simple answer, yes, I will.
At some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
There's
Well, if you want to take
long-term studies.
Yeah, if you want to take Kyle's lesson, which he would say all of the time, is, but right now you're good. So you use your body now while it's working and while it's good. Go have experiences. Go do things. Don't sit around and think about this is going to happen someday. Go
hard, isn't it?
Go do. Go be.
All right.
Yes, definitely. That is
All right.
a lesson I get from him.
All right, hang in there, Michael.
I'll send you a link to that article so
Sure.
you can read it.
Please
Thank
do.
you, Michael.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Traffic.
So there still might be some flooding and ponding issues on the roads due to all the
Ponding?
weather. Yep, there might be
Oh, my
ponding.
God, I hate ponding.
There's the possibility of ponding.
Oh.
Let's see. Accident I-15 between 6 North and 4 South in downtown Salt Lake. Car went off the road into the median. Could be affecting both north and southbound traffic in that area. And if you're seeing something, you can text us and let us know what you're seeing. Karen is seeing hummingbirds fight over the feeder. That's what she's seeing. You can.
But I hope there's no ponding.
No ponding.
Yeah.
Big O Tires has big savings. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires now through August 20th during our Let's Roll event. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back. We got Big Boy News and Frank Christ Presents coming up.
Don't miss a single moment.
I was in Escalante to visit some old friends. We gathered there as a sort of, I don't know why we chose that. Well, one of my friends was in Escalante for an art competition, an art festival that they have every year.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy I hadn't seen for 50 years, since
50 years?
yeah, about that. He flew into Las Vegas, and he and his son then drove to Escalante, and so it was great. It was great seeing them and hanging out with them, and it's funny how, you know, people that you were really good friends with years ago, you can get back together with them. You haven't seen them for a long time, but it's almost
Like no time has passed.
it's. I mean, you spend a lot of time kind of catching up, but then reminiscing, and it's great. Anyway, we're hanging out in Escalante, and we decide we're going to go to we're going to have a couple of drinks and then go to the Escalante Rock Shop.
Oh.
And look at rocks. You know.
That's just
It's a rock.
just
You
what
know,
it says,
you know what a
okay.
rock shop. You know, and it's somebody selling different kinds of rocks. You know,
I got a rock polisher.
Yeah, geodes and, you know, agates and all kinds of stuff. And so the guy at the Escalante Rock Shop,
Minerals, Marie.
run by Scott Nelson.
Nelson?
And he was a really nice guy, and we chatted with him. We were the only people there at one point. A bunch of people were there when we got there, but then we're chatting with Scott Nelson, and I don't know why he said this, but right at the end of the conversation, he says, you know, there's a place in town called Ranch Dog Kitchen, and it's a hot dog place, and it's owned by a celebrity. And I said, who would the celebrity be? And he said, Ted Levine.
Wow.
And I said, what? You're kidding. He said, no, Ted, or is it Levine? I can never remember. I think it's Levine.
Levine?
Ted Levine.
Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. So we thought, well, let's go to the Ranch Dog Kitchen
Why
and
not?
have some food. Now, never really suspecting that Ted Levine would be there. Just, you know, that we thought we'd go. We would assume that maybe he does. Oh, so okay, he does own it, but you know, people run it for him, and he stops in every once in a while. So we eat our hot dogs, and they were delicious, and they had all these wonderful homemade desserts, you know, cinnamon rolls and cobblers and all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, we eat our food, and we're sitting outside at a picnic table, and we pick up our trays and our glasses and take them inside. And as we walk in, I hear somebody say, well, you're bussing your own table, eh?
I know that voice.
I know that voice. Oh my God, he's here, Ted Levine. And
Do people know? I don't know if people know who Ted
I'm going to tell them. So he got his big start in Silence of the Lambs, playing Buffalo Bill, Jamie Gum. And
would you hug me?
It puts the lotion on its skin.
I'd hug you.
Or it gets the hose again.
Could you help me with this couch?
Yeah, that guy. But he has been in lots of stuff, and he's always great.
He was just recently in that guilty pleasure show that I finally stopped watching, Big Sky, and he was like a sheriff who was very corrupt.
Yeah, he's
great. He's always great as a bad guy.
So who would have thought he would be there? And he's there, kind of working, helping out in the kitchen and stuff. And he was just as nice as could be. I mean, and now the picture at x96.com/live. I've cropped myself out of the picture because I look like hell. So I'm standing next to him, and he's got his arm around me, around my shoulders. And but he was nice as anything, and was thrilled that we knew so much about his career. And my friend Tom, who I hadn't seen in a long time, had been an actor like I was, and had some training at the Goodman School in Chicago. And Ted Levine has had some training there and had friends there. So we had that in common. And then I knew like every little detail of movies that he's been in, and he was. And I said, I can't wait to tell people about this. And he said, no, listen, I said, how did you end up here? And there was this tall, kind of very nice looking woman standing there. And he said, I followed her here. and she smiled and went outside and said, this is my wife. And what the story is they were driving through Escalante, and I don't know where. She's not from Escalante, but they were on vacation or something, driving through Escalante, and they saw this old house that was just boarded up, and but kind of a cool old house. And she said, "Oh, isn't that a nice house?" And Ted said, "Let's buy it."
Let's buy it.
Yeah, and
they got a big basement.
And they said, "What are we going to do with it?" And they said, "Well, let's open up a restaurant." And it's are you looking it up there? Ranch Dog Kitchen.
Yeah, I'm trying to find stuff about his wife.
Yeah, and I meant to look it up. She does
She's
have
an
some
actress too.
Well, she had some restaurant experience too. I read at a place in California. Anyway, Ted said she kind of doesn't like it when it should be about the restaurant. I get the feeling it's one of those kinds of things, where people will geek out and fan over him.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be talking about it on the radio.
Well, let's.
Sounds like he wants it on the down low.
No, I mean it's not a secret. It's because I found some stuff online about it. It's not a big secret, but he said I think it's one of those things where it's like. He starts getting all the attention, and she says, it must be nice to be Ted Levine, like that sort of thing.
Well, you knew who he was when you met him.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was really nice, and I think he's kind of embarrassed about it in a way. That not that he's owning the restaurant, he's embarrassed with the attention.
Oh.
You could tell he's kind of shy, and he said. And I said, "You're just always great in everything you've done, And he said, "Yeah, I'm the supporting player, and I'm always, the second or the third or the fourth person, and that's fine. I love doing it." But he was just great. And
it says Ted Levine or Levine is married to Kim Phillips. They prefer to keep their personal life away from the media. They don't like to present their relationship in the spotlight. There's very little information available about their life until Bill Allred outed them on the radio.
Well, he did say, "I don't make a big deal about it on the radio, but I'm doing it anyway." Like, because it's exciting and it's a good story.
That's terrible.
No, it's not.
He specifically asked you not to make a big deal out of it.
I said I'm going to talk about it, and he said, "Well, don't make a big deal about it and talk about the restaurant." And he said, "Talk about the restaurant."
You haven't told me one thing about the restaurant.
Yes, I have. Pay attention.
What?
I told you they had really beautiful, delicious, homemade desserts, cobblers. Why don't you pay attention? You don't listen. That's
you don't listen. He told you not to talk about it.
Of course I listen. I told you what he said.
Don't make a big deal about it, except at our most listened to time of day. That's when...
No, I think he said, he wants the restaurant to be the center of it.
Yeah.
and he's not, it's not like he's always there, I don't think. But bussing
When Bill
tables.
doesn't show up for work, he's going to be in a pit in Ted Levine's basement of his restaurant.
Bad Brad Wheeler had the best line about it. So Brad called me while I was in Escalante because he was worried when he heard Best Ofs on the radio.
Oh.
He thought, something's happened, they've been fired. So I just called to see if you were okay. And I said, yeah, I'm fine. And then I told him this story, and he said, it puts the ketchup on the hot dog. It was the best line. It's a great place. It really, the food, it's hot dogs, but really nice gourmet hot dogs, and then the desserts are just like, man, out of the world. So
That's good. Social distortion. Some of you may not have known that. Ball and chain. 6:42 right now. We got big boy news here. And then Frank Christ presents They're Fine, They're Just Fine. Our Dead Celebrity Game. We'll present to you 4 celebrity names. 3 of those celebrities are fine. One of them dead. Pick the dead one correctly. You will win.
You will win Blue October tickets.
Blue October tickets. Easy. Line up now. The sooner you line up, the better your chance to play and win. Frank Christ presents. 877-602-9696 is the number to call now for those Blue October tickets. Get lined up. News now brought to you by...
Become a nurse in just 32 months at Nightingale College, blending online classes with on-ground supervised field experience, virtual college, actual nursing. Start your nursing journey at nightingale.edu, now accepting enrollment for spring semester.
Up-and-coming young actor Jonathan Majors. His career's sort of been put on hold because of domestic violence charges. The domestic violence trial of Mr. Majors has been delayed now until September. The 33-year-old actor returned to court Thursday for what was supposed to be the start of the trial, but the prosecution said, "We're not ready. Sorry." Majors, wearing a gray suit, entered the courtroom holding hands with his girlfriend, Megan Good. He carried a Bible and a notebook as he approached the bench at 9:42 a.m. with his criminal defense lawyer, Priya Chandri. She alleged that the delay is because the prosecutors weren't timely in turning over evidence. A new trial date has been set for September 6th. Majors was arrested in Manhattan on March 25th and was charged with counts of assault and aggravated harassment following an alleged domestic dispute with his girlfriend at the time, Grace Jabari. At the time of his arrest, a then unnamed woman told officers she was assaulted and taken to the hospital with minor injuries to her head and neck. Majors has pleaded not guilty to the 4 charges leveled against him. Another charge of strangulation was dropped. If convicted, he could face up to a year in jail. Well, the big case yesterday, Donald Trump appeared in federal court in Washington for the first time to face charges that he conspired to remain in office despite his 2020 election loss.
God court.
He pleaded not guilty at a hearing conducted in the shadow of the Capitol, where his supporters, fueled by his lies, had rampaged to block the peaceful transfer of power. Trump was booked, fingerprinted before entering the courtroom, offering a soft-spoken not guilty to each of the 4 counts lodged against him on Tuesday by Jack Smith, the special counsel. He was allowed to leave court without paying any bail or agreeing to any travel restrictions.
Well, there's your 2-tiered justice system there.
A pre-trial hearing is set for August 28th. Things are moving right along here.
That's a speedy
Trump,
trial.
Trump arrived in Washington in the remarkable position of being under indictment in 3 separate cases as he is running for president again. In addition to the election case, he faces federal charges of mishandling classified documents and accusations in New York related to hush money payments to a porn star.
Well, the only explanation is they're politically out to get him.
That's it.
It couldn't possibly be that he has crimed and been caught criming.
His comments, "This is a very sad day for America."
Yes, I agree.
This is a persecution of a political opponent.
No.
This was never supposed to happen in America.
You're right.
Yes.
And then he released later on an attack on the special counsel's wife.
Yeah.
He attacked special counsel Jack Smith and his wife In a multi-page statement, Trump claimed that the charges against him, of course, were an un-American thing and wrong. The statement went on to smear Smith as a dirty, politically motivated investigator. It offered news articles intended to undermine the special prosecutor. One section of the statement was titled, Jack Smith's wife, Katie Shavigny, is a Biden donor. She produced a documentary about Michelle Obama, and she worked on an anti-Citizens United film called Dark Money. The statement included 3 paragraphs disparaging Smith's wife for her work on the documentaries. That's it. And, I'm getting so tired of all of this and directing attention to it, and then things like this in the news. 5 now former members of Mississippi's Rankin County Sheriff's Department and 1 former member of the Richland Police Department pleaded guilty Thursday, admitting to multiple charges, including civil rights conspiracy, deprivation of rights under color of law, and obstruction of justice. The officers, who called themselves the Goon Squad, tortured 2 innocent black men using a sex toy, tasers, and a sword in an hours-long attack that ended with 1 man being shot through the mouth and neck. All 6 acknowledged that while responding to a report of suspicious activity on January 24 this year, they kicked in the door of the house and began a sustained and unprovoked attack on 2 black men there. They tortured them, inflicted unspeakable harm on the victims, violated their civil rights.
What's wrong with us?
That's and I can go into the details.
Don't say us.
No, I just meant the world. I just meant
the peoples of the world. The 2, I think the guys survived the torture, but it was hellish for them.
What was the point?
What's the goal here? If not just pain.
Intimidation. They're the Goon Squad, That's what the Goon Squad does. Draper, Utah took a beating last night as downpours turned streets into rivers and caused a small mudslide, according to Sergeant Cam Roden. That's a great name for a police officer. Cam Roden. With the Utah Highway Patrol, the southbound on-ramp at 146 South is closed due to a mudslide. Do you have any reporters that's still closed?
The big closure I have is Bangor Parkway southbound closed
sinkhole there.
Between 138 South to Highland Drive.
It says a big sinkhole that appeared on Bangor and about 142nd South. Traverse Ridge Road was a raging river, and a viewer-submitted video showed many cars driving through deep water anyway. National Weather Service warns, turn around, don't drown. Don't drive through the deep water.
No way of telling how deep it is, and you'd be surprised how little water you need to go through to get stuck.
The National Weather Service says most flooding deaths occur when people are caught in floods in cars. 2 feet of water is enough to sweep away a vehicle, even a truck or an SUV. And I've only been up on that Traverse Mountain one time, when we went to a wedding up there. And oh my God, it just was beautiful. And as we were driving up that winding road, I say to myself, people should not be building here. No, this, not only does it mar the beauty of the area, but it doesn't look safe to me.
It don't.
Oh man. This is okay. Got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let me wrap it up on another note then. Oh, this is a fun note. An ardent Trump supporter whose enthusiastic participation in the January 6th riot saw him labeled an FBI infiltrator when he was not charged is considering suing podcast host Joe Rogan.
Good.
For claiming that he was working to stir up the rioters.
Good.
Ray Epps, a 61-year-old former Marine from Arizona, was prominent in the riot, but notably absent from any subsequent indictments. Conspiracy theorists seized on that as evidence that Mr. Epps was a government plant working to whip up a riot. The allegation was repeated several times by Tucker Carlson, who Mr. Epps is suing, Fox News, who Mr. Epps is suing, and then by Joe Rogan, and I think Mr. Epps is going to sue him.
Yes.
Yes, we're looking at all options, said his lawyer. Epps went to the January 6th riot despite to back former President Trump in his false claims, but he said he was ashamed at being there. His life was turned upside down by claims that he's an FBI infiltrator. He said, and as to why he wasn't charged with anything, he says, I'm not sure why I wasn't charged.
He's not from the FBI.
No.
But Joe Rogan has now gone way down the election was stolen hole. So if you have friends who are still listening to him, please tell them to stop.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Sports, weather, traffic.
Well, the weather affected sports last night. The Real Salt Lake game against Lyon was, boy, there's crazy video of that, too.
Yeah.
And also video of raccoons trying to get out of the rain. I don't know if you saw any of that.
Raccoon in the press box,
Yeah.
apparently.
Everybody trying to get out of the rain. Should be better tonight. They'll play that rescheduled game at 7 o'clock. So, World Cup. Let's see. Today we've got Switzerland and Spain. I think that's it for today. Next time the United States plays will be Sunday at 3 in the morning against Sweden. That's your sports. Weather. Well, I think we're done with the rain.
Maybe?
For the next several days. Looks like a beautiful weekend. Today, 86, which is cooler than normal for this time of year. Then 90 Saturday, 87 Sunday. Looks like a beautiful sunny weekend for you. Traffic, I'll just mention again. Southbound Bangerter Parkway is closed between 138 South to Highland Drive. On the east side of I-15, that's due to road damage from the floods. Bill was saying he heard it was a sinkhole that was there. Draper City Mayor Troy Walker's declared a state of emergency due to flooding in Draper. More roads are damaged than that one I just told you about. The roundabout from Rambling Road to Mike Weir Drive, Highland Drive to 13th East. So lots of trouble in Draper, I'm afraid. Do you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes? Multiple unfiled years. Contact McClure and Stewart for a free consultation. Go to McClureandStewart.com today.
Good morning, Frank.
Oh, good morning, everyone.
You sound particularly down right now.
Oh, just such a long week. I'm looking forward to just,
You going to kick back?
kicking up my feet. And
Put your bony heels up on the
Yeah.
on an ottoman and crack open a cold one?
That's all I want.
Oh, you can't drink beer, though, can you?
Well, it goes right through me.
Frank, I'm wondering, just because we played Prince this morning.
Yes?
How was taking Prince? How was that?
We didn't take up much room in the sidecar, I would think.
No, as a matter of fact, I was able to make extra trips. I was able to get 3 different people.
You loaded up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no glove compartment. Just right in the glove compartment.
My-
Nice enough fellow. Smelled like lavender.
Oh,
I'm picturing him saying, "This is all a mistake."
Well, he didn't have much to say. He just kind of sat there and kind of rubbed his eyes like this, like he had a headache.
yeah.
Frank, by the way, if you don't know, you're just tuning in, you're listening to this, say, what the hell are these people talking about? Frank is a Grim Reaper, and he is the Reaper of celebrity souls. And yes, he is a Grim Reaper as you picture them. He's here. He's a skeleton, essentially,
I have my cloak.
and a scythe.
Yes.
And the only kind of sort of breaking the mold of Grim Reapers is that he has an electric scooter.
Well, I care about the environment as much as I care about our precious, precious celebrity.
If you go to x96.com/live, you can see a rendering of Frank's scooter and of how Frank looks. It's nice that you wear a helmet, too.
Well, safety first.
Yes, that's right.
No photos. I don't register on film.
So Frank reaps the souls of celebrities, and that's ironic because he loves them.
I do.
He loves the precious celebrities.
Oh.
Why do you love them so much, Frank?
Because everything they say and do is right.
Well, there you go.
We all want to be like our precious celebrities.
And so he's joined us to play the game. Frank Chris Presents.
They're fine. They're just fine.
He's given me a list of actors, and of these 4 actors on the list, one of them is gone. The other 3...
The other 3 are fine. I checked on them yesterday.
They're just fine. And the contestant's job, we have a contestant on the phone
Yes,
there.
we do.
Who is it?
Looks like it's Rainy.
Rainy? Is that it? Is that correct?
Yes.
Rainy. Rainy, and how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
No.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
There we
just
go.
fine.
There we go.
He
You're
caught
fine.
himself.
You're
He
just
caught
fine. Rainy, your job will be to pick the dead celebrity on this list of 4. And if you do that successfully, what will Rainy win, Gina?
Tickets to see a Blue October coming to the Union on November 24th.
All right, Rainy, here we go. Because it is Single Working Women's Day, Frank has given me a list of actors, and I love how you theme these, Frank.
Well, it's fun that way.
These are actors in movies about single women. All right? Number 1, Jack Warden. He was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for Shampoo and Heaven Can Wait as well. He received a BAFTA nomination for Shampoo and won an Emmy for his performance in Brian's Song. He has a supporting role in the Sandra Bullock single working girl comedy While You Were Sleeping. Number 1, Jack Warden. I'm sure Gina knows all of these movies. Number 2 on the list, Holland Taylor. She won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama for her role as Judge Roberta Kittleson on The Practice. Taylor's other notable television credits include starring roles on the sitcoms Bosom Buddies, The Powers That Be, and The Naked Truth. She plays Tina Fey's mom in Baby Mama. Number 2, Holland Taylor. Number 3, Catherine Keener. She was nominated twice for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for Being John Malkovich and for her portrayal of author Harper Lee in Capote. She has a supporting role in the romantic comedy Enough Said. Number 3, Catherine Keener. Number 4, Leslie Mann. She appeared in numerous films, including The Cable Guy, George of the Jungle, Big Daddy, and Knocked Up. In How to Be Single, she plays the sister of Alice, who is trying to get used to being a single woman. Number 4, Leslie Mann. All right, Rainey, of those 4 actors, who is no longer with us? Rainey,
one more time?
Yeah. Number 2?
Holland Taylor?
Oh,
no.
She's fine. She's fine.
Sorry. She's 80 years old, but she's married to, what's her name? Who was she married to? Sarah Paulson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you another chance, though, Rainey, okay? Because we like second chances here on this show.
All right.
Listen carefully. Is it Jack Warden, Catherine Keener, or Leslie Mann?
I'm going to have to go with Jack Warden.
Correct. Jack Warden died in 2006 of heart and kidney failure in New York City.
He was a delight in that movie, Used Cars with Kurt Russell.
Oh, that's right, he was.
Dual role.
All right, Rainey, you win Blue October tickets. Hang on the line, and somebody will tell you how to get them, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor.
That's right. They're adorable.
They are.
Yes, they are. It's a close call there with Rainey.
I know.
Got me all concerned and upset now. Well, I'm going to go check on Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh.
How old is Billy Bob?
68 today.
Well, it's hard living, though.
Hard living.
Yeah.
A lot of miles.
Yeah.
I'll get him some hot biscuits with some mustard. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Southbound Bangor Parkway is closed between 138 South to Highland Drive on the east side of I-15. There's road damage from that flooding last night. Also issues in the roundabout Rambling Road, Mike Rear Drive, and Highland Drive to 13th East. Looks like that's it. That's traffic.
All right, thank you. KXRK Provo will be back. Sean Means reviewing movies after these, including the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Ladies.
I like your shirt, by the way. New shirt? What?
Old shirt.
You never wear it, though.
No, I don't.
Why not?
I don't know.
It's a nice shirt.
I don't wear it very often.
Well, you should.
Okay. Great.
I gave you a
Then
compliment.
maybe I will. I will wear it as often as I ever do, which is not often. It's a shirt that I bought. I remember exactly when I bought this shirt. It's when there was an Old Navy over here on 4th South.
Mm-hmm.
Over there
Where
on
Trader
4th South.
Joe's is going to be.
Yeah. There was an Old Navy there, and I went in there one day, and they had this big pile of shirts on the floor. I'm not kidding, as Old Navy does sometimes. And they said, all of the shirts in this pile are $1.20. I'm not kidding. $1.20. And I thought, this shirt being $1.20, that's negative money.
Yeah. It costs more than that to...
Yeah, there's more material in this shirt. There's more little, Vietnamese or Singaporean child finger blood in this shirt. from sewing the buttons on. And so I bought it for $1.20 off the floor at the Old Navy.
You would not think that.
It's not. It's just a dumb shirt.
You should have kept the receipt in the pocket. My sister bought a coat
But we
once.
never do a 120 time check, Gina. So.
My sister bought a coat once that was on sale, and it ended up being $7, and she kept the receipt in the pocket so that anytime anybody said, I like that coat.
Her sister, Minnie Pearl.
No, Mikkel.
Just to
I
prove.
like that coat. She'd say, $7. No, it's not. I have the receipt.
That's
She kept it in the pocket.
right there. Right
$7 coat.
That is the coat. See, again, that's the kind of thing that the Barbary girls are interested in.
$7? I don't believe that was $7.
But you could have a debate with some other people about, the political situation in Tibet or the existence of God. But when you're debating with the Barbary girls, it's whether Bill Murray is going to go crashing parties and how much the coat cost. Is she the good-looking one?
They are all good-looking.
No, they are
yes,
not.
They are. All of my sisters are good-looking.
Lolita!
Certainly not. All right, let's get this over with.
One is better looking than the others.
No, they are all good-looking.
It's that one that's really good-looking, and then there's there's an okay one, and
I
then
get
there's
phone
that other
calls
one.
every time you do this.
Which one is he talking about?
They know.
Yeah,
They know.
all. I'm surprised they call. All they have to do is look in the mirror.
Yeah,
All they have to do is look at a family photo, Gina. They'll all point to the good-looking one.
All the Barbary girls know. They know who the good-looking one is. It's true.
So we're not making these things up.
Right, Sean Means reviewing movies for us, brought to you by
Hastur Summer Sale in full swing. All board games are currently 10% off, with all games costing $100 or more being bumped to 15% off. Located at 6831 South State. Get store hours and more at HasturGames.com.
Thank you.
Well, he's stepped into the studio, and here he is, larger than life. Sean Means. He's the culture editor at the Salt Lake Tribune, sltrib.com. And he's a movie reviewer. You can read his movie reviews and other things at moviecricket.net. Good morning, Mr. Means.
Good morning.
Where do we want to start with movies today?
Well, we've got two art house-sized openings before we get to the big studio movie. We'll start with Dreamin' Wild. This is a family drama based on a true story. Back in 1979, these two brothers, the Emerson brothers, in rural Washington State, recorded a record album. One brother, Joe, was the drummer. The other brother, Donnie, did everything else. He was guitar, keyboards, plus he was the songwriter and the producer. They had the studio their dad built on their farm, and they made this album.
Okay.
And then nothing.
Was it a good album?
Reportedly, yes.
Okay.
And the stuff you hear on it sounds, yes, very good. So cut to 2011, 30 years later, and a record company guy gets in touch with the brothers and says he heard the album through the internet, and it has become a viral hit.
Oh, okay.
And this company specializes in like re-releasing albums that didn't get a good shake the first time. And he says, we want to release your album.
I think I've heard this story or saw it in a documentary or something. Yeah.
This is based on a magazine article. So and the brothers have this chance to make their rock and roll dreams come true finally. But it's not that simple because time has passed and they've lived They've lived their lives and so on. Donnie, who's the talented brother, is played by Casey Affleck. Joe, who's just sort of happy to be along for the ride, he's played by Walton Goggins.
Oh, really?
And their dad, who sacrificed a lot to their music, is played by Beau Bridges. And all three of them, all three of them are really good here. Zooey Deschanel is in it as well as the Affleck character's wife. So It's a nice surprise in this movie that the record deal and the inevitable big concert in Seattle, moment. It's not the fairy tale ending to the story.
No,
the reality is more interesting, and the movie would rather look at that than a cheesy feel good ending. So that makes it really worthwhile.
Okay,
and it's about the brothers, and it's about their relationship to each other and relationship to their dad, and that's just really moving. 3.5 stars.
3.5 stars for Dreamin' Wild.
How is Walter Goggins doing? I've been watching Righteous Gemstones, and he is Walter Goggins, like over the top Walter Goggins in that, and he's very good and very funny. He's playing a realistic character here, and does he do that well?
Oh, he's very good. He's very good. He's heartbreaking in a couple moments. So yeah.
All right. 3.5 for that. Shortcomings.
Yeah, this premiered at Sundance back in January. This is the directing debut of Randall Park, who you would know from Fresh Off the Boat. Or
I was going to say, I know that name. Where do I know him from?
Fresh Off the Boat, The Office. He was on, or the MCU because he's FBI agent Jimmy Woo
in the Ant-Man movies.
In the Ant-Man movies, in WandaVision. Yeah.
Hopefully someday the leader of the Agents of Atlas. That's what I've got my fingers crossed for, but someday.
So this stars Justin H. Min as Ben, and he owns a movie theater in Berkeley, California, which is not doing well. He's also in romantic freefall. His girlfriend is leaving for New York on a fellowship, and she thinks that might be a good time to take a pause in the relationship.
Oh, that never works.
And she wonders if he's being a hypocrite because he's Japanese American, she's Japanese American, and he says he only wants to date Japanese American women, but then she finds the porn sites on his computer, and they're all white women. Ooh. So he's alone, except for he's got his lesbian best friend Alice, who's played by Sherry Cola, who was in Joyride and was very funny in that. So. He tries dating, and he winds up going out with white women. So he's trying to figure out if he's having trouble defending his Asian American integrity or if he's just a jerk.
Okay.
So, it's really fun. It has a lot to say about Asian American identity. The writer, Adrian Tomey, and he wrote the graphic novel that this is based on. It's got some really strong comedic jabs about Ben's struggle for his identity and whether it's all an act and so on. It was a really fun anti-romantic comedy. I gave it 3.5 stars. It's Shortcomings. It's playing at the Broadway and some other spots.
Excellent. All right. Fartsies. Let's begin with Meg 2.
Yeah, they didn't screen Meg 2, The Trench for critics. Some people I know went and saw the Thursday night.
It's critic
thing
proof,
instead.
the Meg 2.
It's critic something, yeah. I think more critic hostile would be the.
Yeah.
There's a review in the New York Times that just says, "Oh, so what? It's just stupid fun." Says it gleefully jumps the shark. It's a lively sequel to the.
Apparently, more than one shark is what I'm told.
What?
Well, this is again Jason Statham and other folks going up against a giant shark. So
yeah,
says it's gorier, funnier, and more stylish than the original.
All right,
enjoy.
So if you, I have not seen it. I was watching the Apple TV reel constantly telling me that the game I was going to watch was being delayed by weather.
I see. But you did see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem.
Yes. This is rebooting the Ninja Turtles franchise, this time in animated form. Pretty chaotic story. It is the origin story. You have the 4 turtles and their, Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo.
Oh, I know those guys.
Those guys. And their mentor father, Splinter the Rat.
Now, that's new, though, calling him their
Calling
father.
him Dad
Yeah.
is kind of new. It was always Master Splinter for so long, but now they're calling him Dad, which I thought was a good choice.
So they live in the sewers of New York, but the turtles want to live like normal teenagers.
Of course.
Even though Splinter keeps warning them that the humans are nasty and they'll reject them. So So one night they sneak up to check out New York, and they run into a student journalist, April O'Neil, who is trying to find this criminal called Superfly. And she needs the turtles to help her find them. And it turns out that Superfly actually is a fly and is a mutant like them and leading a collection of other mutants. So the voice cast is really strong here. Superfly is voiced by Ice Cube. Splinter's done by Jackie Chan. The other mutants are voiced by John Cena, Seth Rogen, Rose Byrne, Paul Rudd, even Post Malone.
Yes. Post Malone as Ray Fillet.
But then there are teenage voices.
The four turtles are voiced by actual teenage actors, which is, I think, a good because I like Sean Astin, but no, he wasn't He wasn't a teenager when he was doing those voices back then. So,
who plays April?
April. It's the woman who's on The Bear, and I can't
Micah
pronounce it.
Abbey, is that her
No,
name?
A.O.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
sous chef,
the African American
Yep,
woman.
that woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
And April is black in this movie too. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So the computer animation is really, really what is worthwhile about this movie. It looks like stop motion clay animation for the characters, but sort of like the way like Flushed Away did, taking the Aardman style, but computer animating it.
Oh yeah.
But it has these flourishes of sort of pen and ink drawing like the comic books. I think it's probably the best animation in a movie this year that doesn't have Spider-Verse in the title.
There you go.
It's just it's really great animation. The animation sort of outdoes the story. The story is a bit on the thin side, but the animation carries it, I think. I'm giving it 3 stars. It's playing everywhere. You can't avoid it.
You can't avoid it.
So,
talked to a friend of mine who took his kids to it Thursday night, so it was great.
Yeah, it opened on Wednesday, which is odd, but cool.
So they had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I went to see the Oppenheimer yesterday. Will you talk about the importance of casting in a movie? That movie has a huge cast.
Yes, it does.
And there is, I don't think, one clinker in the bunch.
Right. One of the things about the casting of that movie, I mean, you're right. I mean, obviously Cillian Murphy is amazing in it, in the lead, in the title role. Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt.
And they're all so good.
All these good, and then down the line, even further. The thing that struck me is that there were a couple of them who were strategically cast so that it was somebody you recognized, so they might pop up very briefly at the beginning.
Malek.
Yeah.
Rami Malek. Rami Malek's the best example of this.
I'm like, he's coming back.
He had a tiny little role in this whole movie.
Yeah, and then comes back at a very crucial point later on.
Yep.
Not to spoil it, but does come back. Dane DeHaan as the general's Weasley little aide.
Oh yeah, that guy was. I don't know him, but he was great.
Alden Ehrenreich as the Senate aide who is helping Downey's character in a Senate confirmation hearing. Jason Clarke. Ehrenreich is great because he's the audience surrogate, and there's a subtle shift with him that is just amazing. So just great casting all the way up and down the line.
It's like if you cast it right, you got a good movie. It's amazing.
All right, next week, what do we got?
Next week, we got the Last Voyage of the Demeter, which is a horror thriller that's inspired by the first chapter of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Because it's about the ship that Dracula gets to London on.
It's a great idea. It's Alien on boats.
Basically.
Klaus Kinski was in one that, the German director.
Werner Herzog?
Werner Herzog. He did that, too.
He did Nosferatu.
Yeah,
back in
it was on the boat and going to London and all.
But that was just like the first part of the story.
Yeah, excellent. I'm looking forward to this one. Anything else?
Right.
That's the major thing.
That's the of consequence one. All right. Well, thank you, Sean. Thank you so much. Traffic, Gina, please.
Southbound Bangor Parkway closed between 138 South to Highland Drive on the east side of I-15. This is due to road damage from all the flooding last night. Several roads in Draper are affected by that. Actually, Draper City Mayor has declared a state of emergency due to the flooding and the aftermath. I think that's it, though. I'm looking at the UDOT cameras. It doesn't look like there's any accidents going on right now. You can certainly alert us if you see something. Text it to us, 33986. Bluegrass fans, don't miss Green Sky Bluegrass with Amanda Shires at Deer Valley Concert Series, happening this Saturday and Sunday in Park City. Get your tickets at thestateroompresents.com.
All right, boners coming up. Here are the candidates you'll be considering. Boner candidate number 1, Caviezel and General Flynn. Oh, boy. Boner candidate number 2, Rhonda makes another brilliant move. And boner candidate number 3, well, that's what you do. You blow stuff up.
All right. Boner of the day, big boy news, all coming up after these. We also have Hello, Yeah, What coming up. So be ready to call and talk to us about anything that you'd like. All on the way. Here you go. Listen to this. This will help.
It's the cat eating the red pepper.
Yep.
Red bell pepper.
Sounds like a Wolverine.
He loves that. It's cooked. It's cooked somehow. It's softened up. But it's a whole red bell pepper.
I knew a cat once that liked canned diced beets.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never known or owned an animal, cat or dog, I mean, that eats vegetables in any way. Because I saw a video that was also satisfying sound. It was two dachshunds, and they were wearing some kind of costume, and they were lying on their back, and they had stalks of celery, and they were they were loving the stalks of celery. And
I've seen a dog eat an apple.
So we've got about 16 deer up at the farm that have just decided that they're going to winter there.
In the Ogden Valley.
Yes. And they're eating the trees, which is a problem, but...
Shoot them!
But my husband was cleaning out the fridge, and we had some old broccoli in there, and he's like, oh, I'll
Maybe
toss this out to the hungry deer. Surely they'll... the broccoli is still sitting... They didn't...
You should probably check and see if the broccoli is harmful to them, because sometimes animals will eat things that, like deer will eat. There's a plant. They'll come down and eat people's shrubs, and it'll kill them.
Now I should specify. I'm talking standalone fruits or vegetables, because we made our dog food for a long time, and it was a combination of a lot of stuff like rice, and then we'd throw in the California frozen, the triple. It's the carrots and the broccoli and I can't remember which
carrots
one it is.
and bell. It's the Trinity.
The
bell pepper, carrots, and
we'd throw that in there with some chicken, and we mixed it all together. We made and that's when they would eat it. But I'm talking a standalone, like this cat eating.
Like, hand them a pepper.
Like, here you go, kitty. Here's a stalk of celery or a carrot.
And you're talking about specifically carnivores.
Yeah.
You're not going to be surprised to see a deer eat a bell pepper.
Sure.
No, I would expect it. That's why I'm getting this broccoli thing about the
wouldn't
deer.
eat the
It surprises
broccoli.
me.
Like, it's winter, you're starving.
Katie says our dog Vax, who is in there right now, loves carrots, cucumbers, fruits.
Katie, we need a video of Vax eating a carrot or something like that.
It gives him the runs.
Broccoli, carrots, cauliflower, the California frozen vegetable bag. Yeah.
Oh. I thought you meant the New Orleans Trinity Mirepoix.
No.
But this video, Carrie, this will be my my soothing.
Isn't it
video.
soothing?
Yeah. It's just...
I mean, it's okay. It's not as good as the monkey breaking green beans, snapping green beans.
No.
But I'll take this one. And my wife thinks that it's because your broccoli smells like man that they're staying away from it.
It's man broccoli, Bambi. Man broccoli.
Just would think this winter has been so rough that anything green, they would just eat it.
I just Googled, will deer eat broccoli?
They won't. I have evidence.
It says here, when food is scarce, deer will eat just about anything, including okra, hot peppers. Vegetables that deer seem to prefer include beans, lettuce, cabbage, and coal crops, such as broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. The reason, Gina, they're not eating the broccoli is that the trees are handy.
They're eating the trees.
Yeah.
That's convenient right now.
Maybe they're tucking the broccoli away for...
Well, you need to explain to them they need to eat it while it's fresh.
Yeah.
Because,
It's man broccoli, Bambi.
You let it sit out there too much longer. All right, here we go. See this? There we go.
Monkey snapping.
It's the monkey snapping green beans.
Snapping green beans.
Oh,
and he's helping make dinner.
Yes.
I didn't know maybe he's a slave monkey.
No, it looks like he's got a nice house there and everything.
Well, yeah, but he might be owned by people who put him to this slave labor.
I think
maybe he doesn't want to be there.
I think this is his house.
Oh, he lives with the fireplace?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's his place.
He's a well-to-do monkey.
Oh, yes. Well, look how nicely
he's a well-to-do.
Well, look at his coat. I mean,
yeah, that is a nice coat.
He's groomed. He's doing good.
Yeah.
And actually, just not having a monkey snapping peas, but snapping peas is a satisfying.
Snapping beans.
It can be beans.
Is a satisfying.
I find it the most tedious job in the world.
No, because it's like, you get it right in the sweet spot, and there it goes.
No, I mean, but you have to snip the ends off. That's what I find tedious. Snipping them.
Let's see. My dog's treats are carrots. He loves them. My dogs eat all sorts of veggies: carrots, spinach, peppers, zucchini. They'll eat almost anything. And see, my dogs, I guess they're picky. They get excited when we have pizza because they get the crust.
But do you ever really just give them a vegetable to eat and see if
I
they
tried.
You
Yeah.
did?
They didn't want it.
Don't want it. Don't care. Nope. Don't want it.
It's like cats can be so damn picky. You know, I'm not. As a matter of fact, with a cat, you feeding them one thing, and if you decide you're going to change their food, you have to do it gradually.
Yes.
Mix it in a little bit.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, that's absolutely true. Although the latest drama in our house,
What?
Ripley, the water witch.
What?
She demands fresh water to the point where she has to see you put the water in the bowl. Otherwise, she won't touch it.
Have you tried a bubbler? I have a bubbler for the cat.
Maybe a bubbler would work. I don't know, but
That's funny.
She will stare at the water bowl and then look at you. Then stare at the water bowl and then look at you. And so you got to get up, get the bowl, and
She's
go.
letting you know what she wants.
And you go into the kitchen because she doesn't like the bathroom water.
She can tell a difference?
Yeah, go into the kitchen, make sure you see, and fill it up, and then take it, and she's right on you the entire time.
Do you throw an ice cube in it just to give it a little...
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Many dogs and cats like to drink out of the toilet because it's cold. Yeah.
Ripley's not tall enough.
Essentially fresh. Essentially.
I used to take an apple to work for a snack, and I'd bring it home when I didn't eat it. My dog would steal it out of my bag.
I think you try a bubbler. They're nice because you only have to pour a pitcher of water in them every day or so, every couple of days, and when they get low on water, they start to make a sound that sounds like you have a little running brook in your house.
I worry that the next thing that'll happen is I'll have to be giving the dog Perrier water because it's bubbled. That's what I'm worried about. It's a slippery slope, Bill.
Okay,
especially with the princess. All right. Dead. You spin me around. Let's see. It's 7:23. Time now for Boner of the Day. 3 news stories. These will be examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to be Boner of the Day for today, August 4.
April.
Oh, God.
Yeah, don't take us back there.
No.
Maybe he was going forward. Maybe he was going into next year.
Yeah, that's it. August 4th, 2023. We'll give you 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
Not only will you get a Can't Buy It, Gotta Win It Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt, we will also throw in tickets to see Watch House and the Tallest Man on Earth coming August 9th to Red Butte Garden, part of the Red Butte Outdoor Concert Series.
Boner candidate number 1. Caviezel and General Flynn. Oh, boy.
2 loonies.
Even if actor Jim Caviezel knew his days were numbered for exposing the massive child and human sex trafficking industry to the world, he would still keep doing his crusade. Mainstream media fails to report that Sound of Freedom is amongst the most watched films in America cinema right now. That's not true.
That's
they
reported all over
They
the
report
place.
it everywhere. They slam it as a right-wing conspiracy fever dream when it is clearly treating a subject matter that would be important to everybody around the world.
It's a fever dream.
When you talk about Jim Caviezel, though, regardless of what he believes, we can all, of course, agree that abducted children is an important thing.
Of course.
But Jim Caviezel, he's doing his part by making dangerous claims that may put his life in danger, he said.
Really?
He recently claimed that the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, is the main responsible for this missing children issue, is the main thing responsible. And he flat out says that they are the mastermind behind so many lost children all around the world. Okay. Caviezel also says...
The CIA is?
Yes. Caviezel also said during a recent Zoom call with General Michael Flynn,
Another loony.
let me explain something to all of you in the world that think I'm a little girl and I'm afraid of you. I'm not scared in the least bit. God brought me to Hollywood to be an actor. He asked me to do that. He was my intel officer, the greatest God, the only God, and he loved me enough to give me a purpose in my life.
Oh, boy.
And if the CIA thinks they're going to take me out, well...
The CIA is not interested in taking you out.
And Jim, if you have proof, bring it. Right now, you just have accusations. These are two different things.
And Michael Flynn recently tweeted out inviting people to a seminar, and I can't think of how exactly he worded it.
Yeah, it was come to our
child sex trafficking seminar.
That sounds like how to.
Yeah. Come and learn at our child sex trafficking seminar, or something like that.
These two guys and of their ilk.
Oh, the grift.
He was on Steve Bannon's podcast.
Caviezel?
Yes, talking about that BS adrenochrome stuff.
Yeah,
like saying in this that celebrities in Hollywood are kidnapping children to drink their blood so they stay young.
Yep.
Like believing
and
this.
again, prove it. Prove it. We'd be happy to see the proof. You can't.
Show us the celebrities that are doing this.
Yes.
Boner candidate number 1, Caviezel and Flynn. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Here's boner candidate number 2. Rhonda makes another brilliant move.
Oh, boy.
Ron DeSantis, whose campaign...
Thank you for going with the Rhonda thing. I love
Yeah.
whose campaign for the Republican nomination has included promises to downsize agencies, fire bureaucrats, made this comment this weekend in New Hampshire criticizing the deep state. Here's what he said. On bureaucracy, where we're going to have all of these deep state people, we're going to have to start slitting throats on day one and be ready to go.
Utah State Legislature, this your guy still?
This is your guy.
This is your guy.
Yep, default to violence every time.
DeSantis calls for slitting throats in government.
Oh, now come on, you guys. It was a metaphor. He didn't really
Is it
mean
now?
to.
Really?
Yep.
He does seem to go there a lot.
Everett Kelly, national president of the American Federation of Government Employees, said in a statement that, quote, violent anti-government rhetoric from politicians has deadly consequences.
Yep.
Like storming the Capitol.
Yeah, especially a Republican candidate.
Any candidate who positions themselves within the shameful tradition of violent rhetoric has no place in public office. Boner candidate number 1, Rhonda makes another brilliant move. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Well, that's what you do. You blow stuff up.
All right. Boner candidate number 3, coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by...
Baseco is the first name in foundation stabilization in Utah. Is that just a crack in the wall, or is it a sign of a major issue, or your windows or doors sticking? Does any area of the floor slope? Level up with Baseco, Utah's highest quality foundation stabilization and repair. Schedule a free assessment today at baseco.net. That's BASECO.net.
Well, I think all I have to do is read this headline. Johnny Manziel opens a sports bar near Texas A&M.
Well, it's about all he can do.
Yep.
I mean, really?
He's better at drinking than footballing.
Former Texas A&M football star getting into the hospitality industry, opening up his very own bar at his old stomping grounds of College Station. The place is called Johnny Manziel's Money Bar, which is a clear nod to the famous nickname he was given after being suspended for selling his autograph. Of course, the business move makes perfect sense. Johnny hasn't been shy about his love for having a good time. Recently revealed in his upcoming Netflix project that he once went on a $5 million bender. I thought I played better the harder I partied, Manziel said in the documentary. He also previously opened up on his NFL experience, saying he felt bad for losing the respect of his teammates for his off-the-field lifestyle during his brief time in Cleveland. He's been in rehab.
So open a bar. That's a good idea.
Yeah, really good idea, isn't it? Luna Dominguez owns Spellbound Tattoo on Washington Boulevard in Ogden. Owned the place for 2 years now. I'm a single mother, she said. I've invested thousands of dollars in this place myself. I got new sinks. I painted the walls. We did the paintings outside. She's never missed one payment on her rent, she said. 2 days ago, Dominguez found a piece of paper on her door saying the building was being foreclosed on because her landlord wasn't paying the mortgage.
That's not her fault.
And owes the bank $456,000. No, it isn't, Gina, but she's collateral damage. Any phone calls that we tried to call, it's all disconnected. So he's completely vanished, she said, of the landlord. Fox 13 called the landlord. Kenneth Thompson left messages, didn't respond. Rodriguez believes she has two options: buy the building or find a new space to rent. I don't think I'm going to be able to tattoo for the rest of my life, so to be a business owner and teach others how to do it, that was going to be my retirement. There is a way business owners who rent can secure their space, said Carl Barton, a partner with Holland and Hart who specializes in commercial real estate. There is something called a non-disturbance and atonement provision, which means as long as you're making your payments, if the landlord is foreclosed on, your rent, your lease rights, and your rights to occupy the space are still protected.
Oh, that's good.
So there you go. And apparently that'll apply to her. So good deal. Educators say that Florida has this is the College Board.
Yeah.
They say that that's the group that regulates advanced placement courses that prepare high school kids for college. Says new state laws in Florida that govern gender curriculum have essentially banned AP psychology in the state of Florida. Florida's new policy makes teaching certain content on sexual orientation and gender identity illegal. The College Board says those concepts have been part of the AP psychology curriculum for 30 years.
Yep.
And
My daughter took that class last year.
And says it will not alter its defined curriculum to adhere to laws that would, quote, censor college-level standards for credit, placement, and career readiness.
And nothing bad happened. She took the class.
And nothing bad happened to her?
Nothing bad happened.
Yeah, you just wait till she comes home with a beard and wearing pants.
At what point do people suddenly realize maybe Florida isn't the place to send our kids to school? And at what point does the rest of the colleges say, you know what, if you graduated from Florida, maybe we don't
I mean,
consider
at
you
what
serious?
point do all of the poor parents who live in Florida, who have kids in Florida, schools,
rise up
that's who
and...
man. A conservative federal judge says that Donald Trump has cynically chosen to inflict his embarrassing spectacle on the nation.
Yep.
Former Judge Michael Luttig said, it's tragic and regrettable that Donald Trump chose to inflict his embarrassing spectacle on the nation. Now, Luttig had previously acted as an informal advisor to Vice President Mike Pence. By the way, when Trump showed up to be arraigned yesterday, there were, hundreds of news people there, and almost no Trump supporters.
That's been the case at all of these.
Oh, there were the one he went to in Florida. There were there were 200 or 300 Trump supporters. The one where he went to that sandwich shop afterwards and stiffed the owner of the sandwich shop for sandwiches for everybody or whatever it was. It says here there were about 40 Trump supporters gathered on this was at Doral, so they were that was when he left. There were 40 Trump supporters. When he got to Washington,
nope.
I don't think there were any. Nobody.
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
God. He's not smart.
That's not edited.
Nope.
That's a quote.
And finally this.
Truth, essential.
An evening float in Montana turned into an emergency encounter. 3 women were reportedly attacked by otters while floating the Jefferson River on Wednesday night.
The otters are rising up.
Just after 8 p.m., the women were floating a stretch of the Jefferson near Lewis and Clark Caverns when they encountered some otters. The otters attacked, destroying an inner tube and injuring all 3 women before they were able to get out of the water. One of the women was seriously injured and flown to a hospital in Bozeman. Severe bites to her face and arms.
Oh.
The women were able to get to shore, 2 of them on one side, the other on the other side of the river. All 3 women received injuries in the encounter. Once they got onto the shore, the otters split. Okay, we've done our work here.
The animal kingdom has had it with us.
This is very rare occurrence, but don't try to mess with otters because they don't.
They're cute, but
yeah, they got teeth. Okay.
Sinister forces are at work.
Exactly.
All right, that's it.
Weather, traffic.
So, we think the rain is done. Looks like a beautiful weekend. Sunny 86 today, sunny 90 tomorrow. No chance of rain. Looking into the first part of next week, just a warm, nice, sunny weekend we have for you. Traffic, there is some residual issues due to the big storm last night. The first one is that southbound Bangor Parkway closed between 138 South and Highland Drive on the east side of I-15. And there's a few other roads that are damaged in Draper, or still actually have flooding involved in that. So a Draper city mayor has declared a state of emergency due to that flooding. Front of the program says free porta potty mouth of Parley's Canyon, and the lane's headed up eastbound just before the chain up area. So if you need one of those,
I need a new one.
You can go get that. Brought to you by Gateway Aesthetic Institute and Laser Center. I was there yesterday. Don't miss their annual Gateway to Beauty event. It was going on yesterday. It's on today, too. Massive discounts, giveaways, refreshments, gift with purchase, and more. Visit gatewaylasercenter.com for details.
Refreshments.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. Oh, that's what you do. You blow stuff up. A man who showed up late to his American Airlines flight at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport expressed his displeasure by making a bomb threat, authorities said. Authorities said Vincent Serino showed up to the gate, was told the flight was closed, and enraged said to the gate agent, "I'm going to blow this ass up. I'm going to take you all out." The gate agent called 911.
What else was he supposed to do?
That's what I mean. When I attempted to advise Mr. Serino of his Miranda rights, this is the cops coming, he refused to allow it. Once again, he became enraged when I tried to give him his Miranda rights, and he swore at me and raised his voice, saying, "I'm going to blow you up, too." Judge told Mr. Serino he was not in the right, saying he's going to blow people up. But what else? He's from Clewiston, Florida, so that probably explains
No
a lot.
Clewiston, Florida.
Boner candidate number 3. That's what you do. You blow stuff up.
What do you expect me to be on time?
Right.
Hell.
It's what I should have done in Atlanta when they told me my flight to Fort Lauderdale was closed.
My First Amendment rights allow me to say I'm going to blow stuff up. Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, Caviezel and General Flynn. Ah, boy. Jim Caviezel claiming the CIA will have him killed.
Prove it.
Or they'll have to kill him if they want him to stop exposing child sex trafficking. And he says, "I'll gladly give my life."
Prove it
and
first.
General Flynn inviting people to a seminar about how to, about child sex trafficking.
It's not for that.
Poorly
it's
worded.
Yeah,
So it makes it sound as though he's giving a seminar about how to engage in child sex trafficking.
Yeah.
And boner candidate number 2, Rhonda makes another brilliant move. That's Ron DeSantis calling for slitting throats in government. And boner candidate number 3, well, that's what you do. You blow stuff up.
Okay, here we go. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to be boner of the day for today, August 4, 2023? 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text. And text that to 33986. A lot of people vote that way. Or you can call Katie in the producer's booth. She'll take your live voice vote, your vocal voice approach. 877-602-9696. Or you can go online, x96.com. Look for the box. It says Boner of the Day, August 4, 2023. Vote there. Click and vote. If you don't see that box, refresh your browser. It'll appear. Click and vote. So we'll award the Boner of the Day after this. We'll have Boner of the Week in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll tell you about that coming up. But as soon as we award Boner of the Day, we're opening up our phone lines for you to talk to us about anything that you want. It's a feature called Hello, Yeah, What? And for that, you will need a phone, 877-602-9696. We'll get to that in 4 minutes. Let's get to voting. Boner of the Day.
Back in the day, we had these mascot animals living at our at our studio up in Ogden. We had Farnsworth, the cat, and Farnsworth just had the run of the place, and there were a lot of mice in the building, so he kept the mice down. And Farnsworth was he was really a great cat for the most part. He was almost jet black.
Had a broken tail.
Yeah, oh, that's right. He had a crooked tail.
Yep.
And Farnsworth went missing once around Halloween. And
Very nervous.
And our owner was certain that the Satanists had got him.
Well, sure.
You know what? The Satanists have got him. We got to make sure next year we keep him in if we find him. He did turn up, but he was fine. And then I don't know whatever happened to Farnsworth. I think he finally just
they don't
went
live
off.
forever.
Yeah, I think he just finally went off somewhere. And
I think once the sale happened, I think Tom took Farnsworth home.
Did he? Oh,
yeah.
Maybe you're right.
Because I know that the a-hole from El Paso didn't want the cat around.
No. So, it works better alliteratively if we can really say the word.
Yeah, I know.
From El Paso.
But, the nation is 9 years old, so I can't.
Yeah. So just say that to yourself in your head. It sounds better.
I did. It's there.
But anyway, back to this little horse. And then, so the other animal we had was a burro. For some reason, we thought it would be a good idea to adopt a burro from the Grand Canyon. And those wild burro, and the BLM had these programs where you could adopt a burro. And so we went and we adopted this little burro, and we named him Buster, and he was the KJQ burro. No, that's not the right picture. No.
They don't know
They assume that I'm talking about animals. That's an animal picture. That's for later on.
Different animal.
Yeah.
Did you have a picture accompanying the story?
No, I did not. So anyway, we adopted this burro, Buster, and he was a donkey. And it is true what they say about donkeys.
They're stubborn.
They're the worst.
Yeah. And he was we thought it would be fun to take him around to events. Well, it wasn't.
No.
Because he was stubborn. We had a horse trailer that the owner of the property had that we could use. But to try and get him into the horse trailer was just almost impossible. Because he didn't want to go.
Of course.
And you could pull on him, and he would dig himself in, and he just would. But so one year we're having this parade. I think it was the Thanksgiving Day parade. It was the Christmas parade on the day after Thanksgiving in Ogden. I think they still do it, and that's when Santa comes right after Thanksgiving, and they have this little parade. Anyway, so we're going to take Buster and have him be in the parade, or maybe it was the 24th of July parade. I don't remember. Yeah, it was the 24th of July parade, so we finally get Buster in the trailer, and we take him up to Washington Boulevard, which wasn't very far, and we park the trailer, and we open the back door of the trailer, and Buster, the burro, is like almost upside down with his feet sticking in the air. Now, we didn't know anything about it, like he wasn't tied in properly or something. And so he's upside down, all four legs sticking in the air, and I go, Tom goes, "Oh my God, he's dead! He's dead!" And he did. He looked like he was dead. His eyes were glazed over. His tongue was hanging out.
Oh.
Well, there was this cowboy who was there, because he was going to ride his horses in the parade, and he came, "What's going on here?" And our burro is dead. And the cowboy looks in there and he goes, "Hell, he ain't dead." And he grabbed that burro and just dragged him out of the trailer, and Buster kind of staggered to his feet.
He's fine.
He's fine. He ain't
Walk
dead.
it off. Cowboy up.
I mean, and we, it was just like, he said, when you take him home, you got to tie him in there so he doesn't fall down. Oh,
they're dumb.
Well, and we thought he could just stand there and balance. And,
No,
So that
he could have been hurt bad.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah. I mean, he did look dead. I mean, I think his tongue was hanging out, and if he'd stayed like that, he probably would have died. But the cowboy, "Oh hell, he ain't dead." and then so we walked him in the parade.
Let's award Boner of the Day.
And it's brought to you in part by a not very good sandwich that I bought at a grocery store.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Well, it was handmade.
But
You know, it was they had it like at the
Yeah.
deli counter, and I said, "Make me X sandwich,"
Yeah.
and
No.
it just wasn't very good.
And join Bill Allred.
That's me.
Yeah, broadcasting live at Ken Garff Honda in Ogden, 950 West Riverdale Road in Ogden this Saturday from 11 to 1 p.m. Swing by and you can get a Radio from Hell mug or one of our brand new X96 T-shirts.
950 West Riverdale Road. Okay, I
Yeah,
got it.
Ken Garff Honda.
Yeah,
It's the new Utah flag edition of our X96 T-shirt.
I don't know.
People love
Have I
those.
seen it?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. Huh.
It's green and black. And...
All right. Anyway, let's do the winner here, the boner. Again, voting remarkably even.
Mm-hmm.
If you took number 1 and number 2 together, they would have just obliterated everything.
Mm-hmm.
But because they sort of split the vote, so Caviezel and Ron DeSantis kind of split the vote.
Yeah.
That allowed Boner the weakest one to win, really.
Mhm.
Number 3, if that's what you do, you blow stuff up. I think that really was what happened there. It just split the vote.
Disappointed. That's why no labels. You got to keep an eye on that
I haven't
stuff.
seen a picture of that guy before. I didn't have it with the story.
Yeah. That's your boner of the day for today, August 4, 2023. Now qualified to be boner of the week. And Dave the Flower Guy, Dave Mattson, will be here about 9:50 this morning to tell us who boner of the week is. He does not let us vote. He decides on his own who boner of the week is.
It seems like it was only a week ago that he was here.
It's about exactly that.
Let's see. Is this a sponsored feature, Gina?
Oh, yes. Want a fun night out on the town? Try a cooking class from Park City Culinary Institute. Classes include recipes, ingredients, and the tools you'll need. Learn more at parkcityculinaryinstitute.com.
Hello, yeah, what?
It's Hello, Yeah, What? It's a brilliant radio feature that we invented, wherein we allow people to call in and talk to us on the phone live, and we'll answer your questions, and make comments and statements, whatever you want to talk about. You can, usually. We hardly ever hang up on anybody.
It's rare.
Yeah. So if you
Don't
want to
test us, though.
if you want to promote something, if you want to ask us a question, if you're curious about something, 877-602-9696 is the number.
This is ordinarily where we have another drink with Jimmy.
Yeah.
He had some problems this morning, and he's unable to speak to us
He's in
today.
France, I believe.
Yes, he's in France. And but we know a lot about booze.
Yeah, you can ask us booze questions.
You can ask us booze questions if you'd like.
So, of course, I follow the Ute on Instagram.
Hang on, Joe. We'll get to you in a second.
Oh, I didn't know we had somebody.
We do
already.
have somebody, but that's okay.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
And they do these things sometimes at practice where somebody stands there with a microphone and just asks them a question as they're leaving practice. And yesterday's question was, what's the last movie that made you cry? And do you know what a couple of them said?
Barbie.
The Barbie movie.
Oh.
Didn't I read an article that women are breaking up with their boyfriends and divorcing their husbands after they see Barbie? Let me find that story.
Okay.
I'll show it to you. But
Okay.
yeah, kind of interesting. 877-602-9696. Joe is.
Hello, yeah, what?
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
What's up?
All right, so I'm calling from the Haven Drug and Alcohol Treatment Center,
Yeah.
Women's Treatment Center.
Yeah, I'm familiar
and
with
we're
that.
we're having a car wash tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12
Excellent.
at 2841 West, 114th South, South Jordan.
All right.
Okay.
A car wash.
And you're raising money for the program?
Yep, for the program, for us to be able to do activities
Mm-hmm.
and have a good time.
And you should have good. You should have good weather for that. It's good car wash weather.
Finally.
Yes, it's fun, and yeah, we need some people. This area is a little slow, and we're a new treatment center.
Okay.
That's inpatient?
It is an inpatient.
Yeah, all
All
right.
right. So give us the address one more time and the times.
Yeah, it's at 2841 West, 114th South, South Jordan, and it's from 10 to 12.
I hope you have a big success with it, Joe.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you, Joe.
See you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hello, yeah, what?
That is the name of the feature, 877-602-9696. Let's see. They had a question that says, when is Bill's remote? And 27 years ago in August, found Carrie, Bill, and Gina.
Wow.
Thank you for
My
all
remote is 11 to 1 tomorrow at Ken Garff Honda, 950 West Riverdale Road in Ogden.
From 11 to 1.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see, 877-602-9696.
That Joe's was a perfect example of you got something like that you want to promote?
Yeah,
or,
but don't just plug things, though. You know, ask us questions.
or take us to task.
Yell at us if you want. We don't care.
Booze questions, geek questions.
How to live a good life.
Yeah.
Are you going to answer that one?
I could. If
What
you,
would your answer?
I know
to
we
that?
better go to Joey online too.
All right. Joey.
Hi, Joey. Where are you calling?
Hello, yeah, what?
Where are you calling from, Joey?
Hi, I'm calling from Sugar House.
Okay, go ahead.
I started a podcast with a buddy about the show I Think You Should Leave. Have you guys ever seen
Oh,
that?
yes, yes.
It's called I Think You Should Love This, and the whole premise is we try and convince people that it's funny because most people hate it.
Do you have success
So-
with convincing people it's funny?
What's that?
Are you successful at convincing people it's funny? I think it'd be hard to convince somebody that something's funny
Yeah.
that they don't just think.
Because you could sit me down in front of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I would appreciate your arguments, but I wouldn't agree with them.
Yeah, I've had a hard time with that one.
Yeah, I mean, it helps watching it together with people, I think, because, you know, you're laughing with them.
Yeah.
But we haven't had anybody say they hate it yet, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I'm going to count that as success.
All right,
And
good.
Yeah.
I think it's a funny show.
Tell me the premise of the show.
It's just sketches.
I think I saw one once, and it was okay.
It's
I
just
thought it
really weird sketches.
Yeah.
I played one for you here that's the guy who's blocking the driveway with his car, and they're honking and honking, and the guy comes up to him and says, "Don't you know how to drive?" And the guy in the car says, "No, I don't, and this is terrifying for me."
Well, that's pretty funny.
And so the whole sketch is just him going, "No, I don't know what I'm doing."
Isn't like one guy in charge of this?
Yeah, he's
some comedian.
He's a former Saturday Night Live writer.
Tim
I believe.
Robinson, yeah.
Yeah,
What's
Tim
his name?
It's all just really, it's Tim Robinson, and they're just real silly sketches, and
All right.
I don't know. I find it very funny.
There was a funny bit where it's going to be a hidden prank, a hidden camera prank in the mall.
okay.
I'm going to dress up as an old man
Okay.
and get into the mall. And so they show the process of hiding the cameras and getting him in the old man makeup and all of that, and then putting him out in the mall. And he gets in the middle of the mall and goes, "It's very hot in this makeup. I don't think I want to do this."
After all that.
And he just kind of stands
So
there.
they're just kind of silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks, Joey.
Yeah.
All right, Joey.
See ya.
Yeah.
Good luck. All right. I just did 3 episodes of your podcast, Joey. Let's go to Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn.
Carolyn, good morning.
Yeah, what?
Where are you calling from?
Sandy.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I just wanted to tell. I just wanted to tell her, long-time listener. I've been since I moved here in '91, I think, when I started listening. I just want to tell everybody I'm very, very excited that Artie's back.
Oh, Artie
I
Falcon.
just love Artie
Yes,
Falcon.
we are happy
And
to.
I just wanted to say I love that he's back on the radio. It's just like the old days.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a unique talent that very often people who are in management have not known how to, not known what to, quite to do with that
They
talent.
don't get it.
They don't know
I
what,
kind of assumed that when he disappeared for a while.
and they don't know. They don't know how to kind of. Because Artie will have the tendency sometimes to go a little too far, and rather than figuring out ways to keep that contained, they just say, "Well, we can't have
we
this."
can't have that. Get rid of it.
Yeah, so-
Here's the thing about Artie is that he used to be in the afternoons here, and he would do his thing. You know, it was Monday through Friday in the afternoon, and there was also another attempted comedy show going on in the afternoon at the same time. And I remember speaking with one of those people from the other show. Said, "How can you have that? The guy's singing about cats and gravy. How can you have that on the air?" And I said, "Well, last time I checked, Last time I checked, buddy, that guy singing about cats and gravy on the air is kicking your ass in the ratings, okay?
Yeah,
So,
I love it.
so don't give me that.
And one other thing I would say, Carolyn, is that Artie Fufkin is one of the kindest, nicest people that you will ever meet.
That's what I was just going to say. He's a sweetheart.
He really
And
is.
that rough exterior, he's just a heart of gold. And
Yes,
I love
he
Artie.
is.
So I
Yeah.
just
Thank
wanted
you,
to tell
Carolyn.
everybody's back and let you know how much I appreciate him.
All right,
I'm my
thank you
chauffeur,
very
too.
much.
All right.
20
Okay.
years ago he was on, and my kids are now in their 30s, but I just loved Artie, and I just wanted you all to hear that.
Oh,
All right.
thank you.
There's
Thanks,
the,
Carolyn.
There's the.
Thanks, guys.
I
Have a
hope
great
that.
weekend.
I hope that Artie paid you in gravy packets.
877-602-9696. That's the number to call to be a part of Hello Yeah What. You can, if you hate Artie, you could call and say that.
Yeah,
No, don't call us.
Hello, yeah,
You
what?
can call and say you hate us. Don't call and say you hate Artie.
We'll continue. Hello, yeah, what? After these, you decide what it's going to be. 877-602-9696. Traffic.
Draper's got issues. So southbound Bangor Parkway closed between 138 South to Highland Drive. Lots of road damage and flood damage in Draper, so much so that Draper City Mayor Troy Walker's declared a state of emergency there. But other than that, things seem to be moving well, and I don't think you've sent in anything via text, but if you do see something, you can let us know what's happening, and I'll pass it along. 33986 is where you do that. Tickets are on sale now for a breathtaking season of music, dance, theater, and film at Utah Presents. Visit utahpresents.org to secure your seats and save big with no fees before August 18th.
All right. Like I said, we'll continue Hello, Yeah, What after these. Then it's time to beat Gina and Big Boy News. All coming up. Stand by for those items.
When it comes to one...
I've got this list here
A list?
of the oddest laws in America.
What?
Rules, all kinds of things. These are laws that are on the books in various states. So, for instance, in Alabama.
Well, is it
it's a list.
Is it a proper list?
I think
Okay.
so, yeah.
All right.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
This is a law on the books in Alabama. You may not dress as a member of the clergy unless you are one. You
What
can't-
about Halloween?
No, it's a misdemeanor.
I want to be a pregnant nun for Halloween. I can't do that?
In Alaska, you can't operate motorcycles or loud power tools at night. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? That's
All right,
not so
yeah.
strange. Arizona, you don't interfere with a claw machine or a crane game. You know those. Yeah, the claw. Don't. It's illegal to mess with them. If you do, it's a misdemeanor. Arkansas says forget about beeping your horn after 9 p.m. at sandwich shops.
At sandwich
Yes,
shops
specifically. It says here, no person shall sound the horn on a vehicle at any place where cold drinks or sandwiches are served after 9 p.m.
Don't disturb my sandwich.
I don't understand that.
I'm having a before bed sandwich.
In California, you can't eat frogs that die in frog jumping competitions.
Huh?
That's a waste of a frog then, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you just throw it on the heap. Colorado, you can't use upholstered furniture outside.
Why not?
I don't know.
You can't
So
use
you have to use
upholstered furniture outside.
Oh, here I bet this is the reason. It's outdoor furniture lobby people saying you must buy outdoor furniture.
I think it's because it just looks trashy. That's why I made that law.
You can't use upholstered couches, mattresses, or in the front or backyard or the side yard.
I'm an elected official, and I've decided that looks trashy.
Now, this is a good law. In Connecticut, it is against the law to sell silly string to a minor.
Oh yeah, we're
Well,
anti-silly.
that's a good idea.
You know, I think
what about mascots?
I think only mascots can have silly string.
No, they're dangerous with silly string.
And that stuff's flammable, you know.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
I've told that jazz bear, you stay away from me with that stuff.
I'll punch him.
In Delaware, you can't whisper or use profane language in a place of worship.
You can't whisper in a place of worship?
Yeah.
Does that mean you're supposed to only talk out loud?
It says no person may disrupt religious worship by noise, talking, or whispering. or by rude or indecent behavior.
But how do you tell your kids to knock it off?
You just shake your fist at them.
Tell them they're going to get arrested.
Don't feed the alligators in Florida. That's not odd.
Yeah.
Georgia, you can't have chickens crossing the road.
Well, it's just a good idea.
Well, what they need to get to the other side.
Well, I'm sorry.
They really don't need to.
You have to carry them.
What kind of business do they have? What business are they carrying out across the street, really?
And in Idaho, you can't carry a red cane or a white cane unless you're fully or partially blind.
That's right.
You can't dye a baby chick in Illinois.
Yes,
in Indiana, don't even think about catching a fish with your bare hands.
Why not?
No hillbilly hand fishing?
Nope.
They got a whole series of shows about that.
In Iowa, don't pass off fake butter as real butter. Now, that's a good law.
That's a good law.
Let me see where...
Give me a good one to end with here.
We don't have one for Utah. We don't have
there
one.
There are
all
no
of
weird...
laws.
Yeah.
Just look at our liquor laws. That's all you need to know.
Let's see,
one more.
I got to get a good one here. In Maryland, it is illegal to use stench bombs.
What is a
stink bomb?
A stink bomb. Any liquid, gas, or solid substance or matter of any kind which is intended to be thrown, dropped, poured, deposited, or discharged for the purpose of producing a noxious, nauseating, sickening, irritating, or offensive odor. No stink bombs allowed.
Somebody did that to me once, so I'm going to make a law about it.
Yeah, there you
Stop
go.
it.
We hope you'd enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X96.
I'm an elected
Yeah, what?
Just a moment so that Bill can gush about his Subaru.
I feel really I feel so fortunate that Mark Miller Subaru said, "Hey, Bill, why don't you drive one of these Outback around, tell people what you think about it."
Mm-hmm.
Brand new Subaru Outback. It's the Wilderness Package. My God, what a wonderful car. Mark Miller Subaru, Midtown or the one in Southtown. You could go and rent one of these Subarus from Mark Miller Subaru. Rent a Subaru. It's more than just a rental car, though. It is a Subaru, an all-wheel drive car. It's the perfect rental car. It's ready for a road trip, vacation. Maybe you want to go backcountry adventure, go camping. Rent a Subaru and see what it's like. You can use it just as a short-term vehicle that safely commutes through all kinds of weather. With Subaru Just Drive Rental, you finally have the opportunity to get the safety, the comfort, the versatility of a newer model year Subaru along with the convenience of a rental vehicle. Try it out. Go to markmillersubaru.com and rent one today.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, it is.
Hello, yeah, what?
It continues.
Whether you like it or not.
It's the feature of the program where you can call and talk to us about anything you'd like.
We just heard some from a woman who liked Artie Fufkin.
Mm-hmm.
I think Artie's listening, and he texted us.
We did.
I'm very flattered and humbled. Everyone has been so kind. By the way, I've decided to embrace my hernia and not hide it.
You own that hernia.
Own it, Artie.
That's
Own it.
got to be Artie. All right, let's go to Peggy.
Hello, yeah, what?
Good morning, Peggy.
Good morning.
Where are you calling from, Peggy?
Salt Lake.
Okay, what's up?
Canyon, actually East Canyon.
Mm.
Well, I'm a bit miffed at folks who go to rock concerts and yell at the folks that have paid really good money for front row tickets, yelling at them to sit down. It's not a symphony, people. It's a rock concert.
Yes.
If you need to sit down, stay in the general admission.
Yes.
How do you guys feel about that?
I feel like you should be allowed to stand at a show, for sure. 100%.
Absolutely.
I don't know. If I paid the same amount for a ticket that you did, Peggy, and you're sitting in front of me, and you stand up, perhaps I'm not able to stand up. Perhaps I can only stand up briefly for a brief amount of time. And I paid the same money as you did for a ticket. Is there fairness here?
There absolutely is fairness. Let me tell you what you can do. There are areas for those folks who can't stand up, have special needs. Absolutely, there are areas, and I'm sure that the ushers would provide you with that.
Okay, how about this, Peggy? I paid for a seat, and you paid for a seat. The reason I paid for a seat is because I wanted to sit down and watch the show.
Right.
And you're standing
Yeah.
up in front of me.
You're still sitting.
And Peggy, you're 6 feet tall, and I'm 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
So even if I stand up.
Right.
I'm just saying.
It's a rock concert. It's a rock concert.
Which gives you license to just do whatever the hell you want, right, Peggy?
No, it's not giving me the license to do whatever I want. It's a rock concert, and if you're going to sit down and not enjoy the music that moves you, then why are you put on a CD?
Because
and listen
Peggy,
to the music
you
that
know
way.
how to enjoy a rock concert better than I know
That's
how to enjoy
true.
a rock.
I agree with that.
Right?
I
Well,
feel like
no,
you got yelled at.
I'm saying
Peggy.
this. How often do you have to accommodate everyone just because they can't do something? I'm sorry, I don't. This is really angered me when I was in a concert recently in Lake Tahoe that we flew in for. We flew in for that concert. And the people behind us were very capable of standing up, but they were more interested in talking about the trip that they just went to Spain throughout the concert and then criticized those of us who didn't want to hear that stuff and stood up and enjoyed the music that we paid for.
I'm curious what
So
the
there's
concert
that.
was, Peggy.
Yeah, what was the show?
It was Neil Young. It was Neil Young
okay.
at Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good show.
All right. Thank you,
It was
Peggy.
I'm just
excellent.
I'm just pointing out there are two sides to this coin, Peggy. That's all.
There absolutely always is two sides. But the fact of the matter is, you just.
But your side
you
is
roll
right.
with
I get it. Your side is right. I get
No.
it.
Listen,
No,
and
it's
as far
not.
as
It just is.
and as far as compromising for people around you, I live in Utah, so
There's compromise.
there's compromise
all
every
over.
day, every day.
Anyway, Peggy, I more power to you. I'm just giving you the other side.
Thank you,
That's
Peggy.
all.
Thank
Oh,
you.
we heard from Grandpa Brandon.
Uh-oh.
Grandpa Brandon says even I can stand for a whole rock concert,
Well,
and he's a grandpa.
Good for you, Grandpa.
877-602-9696. That's the number to call. And and whatever you want. You see, whatever happens, happens. You can
Air
call
your
us.
grievances.
Yeah. Let's see. When I went to a concert this week, I had GA tickets, general admission. I walked into an area with a gap. Some lady said, "I'm saving this spot for my friends, so you need to move." I said, "Well, this is general admission. You can't save spots." Yeah, no, that's crap. Anyway, 877-602-9696.
Somebody else says, this lady's ridiculous. I go to a lot of concerts. There's nothing worse than people standing up for the whole show when you want to see the stage.
There's some music that it's weird to just sit there and listen to. You have to stand up.
Yeah, but maybe you don't need to stand up for the whole time. Anyway, Greg's on line one.
Greg.
Hello, yeah, what?
Hello, Greg.
How are you?
Fine.
I just wanted to express my appreciation for. I'm 54 and have been listening to you folks since I was a junior in high school. And I believe you guys were the Fun Pigs at the time.
Oh, jeez.
If I remember
Thanks for bringing that up, Greg. Thanks for bringing that up.
Well, yeah, you bet. But yeah, you guys have been a steady in my life, and I just appreciate it. And Gina, I know your Papa Gary, and he is an incredibly awesome gentleman.
Very kind man, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Extremely nice guy.
He is. I hate to see him retire from what he's done. I know him from the industry.
Oh,
and
okay.
He's an excellent man.
I would agree.
But,
I'll tell him you said so.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, tell him, Greg. Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
Greg. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's go to Travis. Travis?
Hello, yeah, what?
What's up, Travis?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Hey, so I just wanted to call and tell you about this charity that a friend of mine and I are trying to start up. It's called the I Love You Bro Project. The reason it's called that is because a couple of years ago in Lehigh, my friend was driving by. He was driving his daughters to a basketball game, and he saw somebody on a bridge about to jump,
Oh.
and
I know
he
this
just walked
story.
up and
Yeah.
Yeah. So he just walked up, and he's a big guy, so he said a little prayer, and he said all he could think to say was, "I love you, bro." And he likes to say that he literally loved him off the edge.
I've heard this charity before
and so,
too.
Yeah.
So what's the event?
Yeah. So there's not. I'm not sure about the events coming up, but I just wanted to say, like, if you want to donate, iloveyoubro.net is up, and we'd really appreciate it.
Okay.
We're trying to get things together to help men. It's specifically a charity for men who men are 70% more likely to commit suicide than anybody else. And so
all right.
It's a charity specifically for men, and we're trying to get things set up to where we can have meetings and stuff and just.
Yeah. Okay, we got it, Travis. Thank you.
Thank you, Travis.
iloveyoubro.net.
Thank
Thanks.
you so much. I love you guys.
Okay,
Thank
I love you,
You
bro.
guys are the best.
All right, we'll see you.
That's nice.
We have just enough time to talk to Heather.
Hello, yeah, what?
Go ahead, Heather.
Hi, I'm just calling to comment on the lady who doesn't like the people yelling at her about standing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm someone who sometimes I like to sit, sometimes I like to stand, and I'm also, a whole 5'1". Generally, if people are taller than me, standing in front of me, I can manage to see around them. I don't generally have a problem. Like, I've never had to tell someone in front of me, don't stand, move, or anything. I can usually adjust, and we all watch the concert pleasantly.
Okay.
All
right.
Thanks.
Sounds like
I'm
you're a
just
compromiser.
enforcing
You're a compromiser. Right?
Well, we all live together.
Sure. Yeah.
exactly.
I didn't mean that as a bad thing. I mean, people who can compromise that's generally the way to get along in life.
All right. Thank you, Heather.
Thanks, Heather.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Here we go.
Hello, yeah,
I think
what?
she thought I was insulting her by saying she's a compromiser.
Well, people expect you to get back at them rather than just accept what they say.
Thanks, Gina.
All right. Let's see. Traffic, Gina, please. Yeah.
So crash eastbound 201 freeway approaching 32nd West, exit the right lane, and the shoulder are blocked. And Draper's got several issues on several different roads. Highland Drive to 13th East, roundabout at Rambling Road to Mike Weir Drive, Bangor Parkway between 138 South and Highland Drive. Those are just some of the places that were having issues due to flooding last night. And if you see something, you can text us 33986.
All right. Beat Gina. It's coming up after these and a song. It's easy to play because it's pop culture trivia. It's multiple choice, so you got to have 50-50 kind of a thing going.
People usually do fairly well.
Yeah, they do. But we are going to play Beat Gina at 877-602-9696 after these messages and a song. What do we have to give away?
Yellow Card tickets.
Nice. Tickets to see Yellow Card. You will win. You will see the show when you beat Gina. 877-602-9696. That is the number to call to play Beat Gina coming up after these.
Vacations are some.
Oh, it's sponsored by Delicious High West Barrel Finished Cocktail.
Thank you.
Have another drink, it'll make you feel better. Have another drink, it'll feel alright. If you feel down and you're under the weather, have another drink and you feel alright.
It's Jimmy Santangelo. He is Jimmy the Wine Guy. Splashy Jimmy.
Not just wine, though. Today we're talking spirit.
Whiskey guy. Yeah, he's the all things spirits guy. All spirits. Jimmy is the proprietor of the Wine Academy of Utah. It's not the Spirits Academy of Utah. It's the Wine Academy of Utah. That's why he's the wine guy. And I like this Jimmy a lot. Oh, wineacademyofutah.com. because I'm too lazy to mix a cocktail. It's done for me.
Well, and I didn't realize that these were they were in bottles.
Yeah, they're pre-mixed. So what we're talking about today, for the listeners, High West. This is their barrel-aged cocktails. We're featuring both the old-fashioned as well as the Manhattan. And you're right, they're already prepackaged in bottle. Give it a little turn, give it a little gentle swirl, and all I have to do is pour this right over ice.
Yeah. Now when you said that it was that they're pre-made, I expected the cans like we've been getting. You know,
the difference between their competitors out there is that this is aged for about 3 months. They marry it in rye casks.
Now, do they age it with all the sugar and everything in it?
They're
really?
pre-mixing it.
Wow.
So you're pre-mixing it. You're putting it in barrels. So the marrying really comes together. Marrying of all those ingredients. Sure, you can shake it or do a stir-down drink with the ingredients separately. But when you do that barrel aging, you just have this maturation of the barrel as well as the tannins and the beautiful vanillas and the vanillins from the barrel, but also those ingredients meld together better.
Which one is which here?
So the one on the left is the old-fashioned.
That's my favorite.
An old-fashioned, this is one thing I really like about what these guys are doing, what High West is doing, is they're blending for their primary whiskey that goes into an old-fashioned. They're using both bourbon and rye. Portions of which, I don't know if it's 50-50, if it's 70-30, like what the ratio is.
I'm not going to tell you.
It seems a little rye. I mean,
it does seem a little rye forward,
That's High West. They've always
Funny you
leaned
mention
that, way,
because I'll talk about the coloring on we're seeing a trend. Well, actually, Gina has a green colored. Usually when you're seeing a green label, it's more rye influence. If you're seeing more of this red or amber, it's more of a bourbon. Now, does that mean anything on these labels? I don't know. I got to go to the whiskey geeks that follow.
Now, the old-fashioned, I mean, as I take a sip, it seems kind of spicy, like more
real
rye
spicy.
than bourbon.
So you have the old-fashioned. The components in here are your simple syrup, your rye, and a bit of bitters. And then you can complement this with a cherry and an orange, stir down right over ice. You don't need to start crunching down the orange or anything. Just enjoy it. All the flavors are in there.
In there would be great.
And now the other one is
the Manhattan.
Oh, dreary old Manhattan.
As you know, I'm a Manhattan fan. We do the Manhattan classes. This is, again, a blend of both rye and bourbon. And it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Now, the sweetness in here, we're moving away from the simple syrup of an old-fashioned to sweet Italian vermouth. So this is a sweet vermouth in a 2-to-1 ratio, meaning 2 parts of your spirit to 1 part of your sweet Italian vermouth, and a bit of bitters, stir down, also aged for 3 months. And that's the real difference. That really sets High West apart from other competitors, is this classic barrel finishing that they can afford to do for 3 months.
This Manhattan, I think it's the sweet vermouth. It kind of, I prefer a Manhattan. And the vermouth kind of smooths the drink out.
Sure does.
Either of these would be a great thing to take as a hostess gift. Instead of a bottle of wine, because I'm coming to your house, and guess what? You don't have to mix the cocktails.
It's all done.
It's all done. And they say there's 12 cocktails per, so it's about a 750 milliliter bottle. That's 24 ounces, 2-ounce pours, 12 cocktails. There are differences in the alcohol by volume, the alcohol percent. The old-fashioned's a little higher at 43, and the Manhattan is proofed down about 37%.
So, what's the price point on these?
Both price points are $39.99, 40 bones, and it's a really great price point for a fantastic, handsome bottle. I mean these bottles are super cool.
Well, and just for labor saving alone, that's worth it. You know?
Well, let's see. If I went to a bar and bought 12 and had 12 Manhattans in a row.
When we go to the bar and buy 12 Manhattans,
which I've done.
I mean, what's the average price of a cocktail? $12. So it's definitely well worth it.
Here's a quick question, since it is mixed with sugar and everything. Can this just live in your bar, or do you have to put it in the fridge after you open it?
After you open it, you do want to, if it is in the bar, you want to keep it in more of a cool, dry, out of the sunlight kind of an area.
Okay.
If your bar is in the dining room or in the front room, family room, and it's casting some sun on it and warming it up, you are going to accelerate the aging. Given the proof, it's not going to spoil, but it is going to lose some of its freshness.
Can you keep it in the fridge, or is that not a good idea?
No, you could keep it in the fridge, yes. Absolutely.
I'm taking the cork off, but I'm not pouring anymore.
You
I'm just looking at the cork.
Honest.
Really. I was just looking at the cork.
Bill's over there eyeing the cork.
I tuned in a tiny bit late. What's the name of this? What do we get?
So High West. Yep, High West. This is the barrel finished cocktail. So it's the prepackaged cocktail. It comes in a nice round bottle with a square top. It's kind of got this cylindrical. Very nice, and this is the old fashioned and the Manhattan.
I drank all. I drank all
of both of them.
I can't do that, but I drank all of them.
Why can't you do that?
Do you want me to function?
I want you to drink both of them, and I want to see what happens. I really want to see what happens.
I miss Drinky McWeather. I miss her. She was a good time gal.
Video too.
Yep. Not Enough Time, a song we don't hear enough. Because on this day in 1992, INXS released their 8th studio album, Welcome to Wherever You Are, featuring Heaven Sent, Taste It, Beautiful Girl, and that song, Not Enough Time. Okay.
Those of you in the front row, please sit down so we can all enjoy this edition of Beat Gina. I'm Johnny Ola, and if you know babies like I do, you know that babies thrive on real meat. Meat is such a rich source of bodybuilding protein. All right. Meat gives babies the vital B vitamins and iron they need for sound nerves and healthy blood. And meat helps baby build up resistance to colds and infections. Well, here's meat that baby can eat at 3 weeks old. It's meat in a form as digestible as milk. It's meat prepared Swift's special way so that babies can start it earlier. Ounce for ounce, here's meat that gives babies 5 times more protein than usual meat soups and 10 times more than mother's milk. The newest trend in infant feeding is to start meat early. And Swift's meat for babies is 100% meat. Beef, lamb, veal, pork, liver, heart, and liver with bacon. And for a limited time, I, Johnny Ola, will buy your baby's first can. Just contact the Beat Gina Studios for details. Hurry, this offer expires at the end of the month.
Wow.
And now, here's a man whose offer never expires. The one, the only MC in the world, Kerry Jackson.
Oh, thank you, Johnny Ola.
You're welcome.
Professional game show announcer, Johnny O. All right, the randomizer has picked your contestant, Gina. It looks like you'll be playing against Ryan.
Hi,
Ryan is here, I think. Yes.
Hi.
Hi, Ryan. All right, we're going to toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you an advantage in the game. Heads or tails, call it.
Tails.
All right, coin toss app says heads, Gina Barberi.
Oh, you are one step further away from winning these tickets to see Yellow Card celebrating 20 years of Ocean Avenue with special guest Amberlynn at USANA August 6th.
All right, well, you are at the disadvantage, Ryan, but if you manage to claw from... Well, no, if you win, you get these tickets.
Sure.
But if Gina wins, which is the way it's looking right now, what are you prepared to do in her name?
Well, I was going to not only do the back-to-school donation to the road home, but I was going to bring a dozen of Ogden's Own Mountain Donuts.
Wow,
That's
good.
My goodness.
That's good. All right, well, the first question is for Gina. Now, I purposely did not tell everyone the topic of the questions today because I didn't want to discourage callers.
Okay.
Because it's Barack Obama trivia. And
why would that discourage?
Because you are the Obama mama, the original. And so I didn't want to discourage everyone, but I've made these questions kind of difficult for Gina.
All right.
Perhaps. All right. First question for Gina. Here we go. What sport does Barack Obama like to play?
Oh, come on.
What?
Go ahead.
These are all real sports, by
Okay,
the way.
okay.
Okay. So number 1, chess boxing.
That is a real
It's
thing?
a real sport.
Really?
2, badminton. 3, basketball. Or 4, joggling.
Which is what?
Juggling while you joggle. While you juggle?
Juggling while you juggle.
Jogging while you
jogging. Jogging while you're jiggling.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, even if you had said for serious sports, I still would have told you it was basketball.
Basketball is correct.
Yes, that's correct.
All right.
Ryan, your turn. It's 1-0.
Ryan. Michelle and Barack Obama have a multi-year deal with... Fill in the blank.
Okay.
A multi-year deal with... Is it 1, the Illuminati, 2, Audible, 3, Netflix, or 4, the Jelly of the Month Club?
I'm going to say... I'm going to say Netflix.
Netflix is
That
correct.
would be
That
correct.
would have been correct, yes.
1-1. Back to Gina.
Gina? Oh, that one's too easy. Let me get you. Here we go.
Because the answer was basketball again.
Yes. Here we go. What nickname did the Secret Service have for Barack Obama? All presidents have nicknames in the Secret Service. They call him by a special name. What was his Secret Service handle, his nickname? Was it 1, Renegade? Was it 2, B.O.? Was it 3... Was it 3, Blockade, or 4, the King of Kenya? Which was it?
1.
Renegade is correct. Wow.
It's 2-1.
I tried.
Well, really.
So funny?
All right.
Because those are his initials, Gina. Barack Obama.
B.O. All right. So is the...
Don't know what's so funny about that.
What's the total? What's the count and the amount?
It's 2-1. Ryan has won, and it's his question.
All right, Ryan. According to Barack Obama, what is his greatest accomplishment? Is it 1, he ate 50 boiled eggs in 1 hour? 2, being a father? 3, dunking on DJT at the White House Correspondents' Dinner? Or 4, having 2 Grammys?
Being a father.
Being a father is correct.
It's tied up.
Although if you ask him privately,
He'll say the Grammys,
yeah.
you think?
You go back now to Gina. If she gets this one, she wins the game.
I think she's going to get it. What Nobel Prize did Barack Obama win?
Okay.
Which Nobel? There are different Nobel Prizes.
Sure. Yeah.
Is it 1, Hope?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 2, Star Trek references? 3, Peace? Or 4, the Nobel Prize in sandwiches?
It's Peace Prize.
Peace is good.
And there you go. 3-2. Gina wins the game. So sorry, Ryan.
I don't know. Ryan's going to help out the kids, the back-to-school kids at the road
that's
home.
true.
That's true. Yeah.
That's a good deed you're doing that deserves to be rewarded. So we'll still give you these yellow card tickets coming to USANA on August 6th.
So hang on the line.
Thank you.
I've got to go and start filling those orders for Swift's Meat for Babies.
You better. We're giving away free stuff like that. All right, Big Boy News now brought to you by...
Take a visual trip in the Dome at Clark Planetarium while listening to the music of some of your favorite rock bands like U2, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and more. Cosmic Light shows play every Friday and Saturday night. Visit clarkplanetarium.org for tickets.
Several major Hollywood names have joined the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists picket line.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Sandler out there, Ben Stiller out there now, spotted with placards in hand. Coming courtesy of a report by Deadline, Sandler and Stiller are, of course, two of the biggest names in movies and TV, making their presence a serious boon for the ongoing strike action. According to a report, protests are now expected to take place outside the studios and networks in Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Comic-Con International, San Diego. Other big names standing with the union include Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings and Barbie star Simu Liu, Dirty Dancing star Jennifer Grey, Avengers star Clark Gregg, True Romance star Christian Slater.
Let's go all the way back
come
to
on.
that.
Mr. Robot he was currently in.
As well as Patricia Clarkson, Deborah Messing, Stephen Lang, Seth Green, many more people, many more actors of note joining the picket lines. These latest names stand on the picket lines of the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television Radio Artists, join the likes of Better Call Saul and Emmy winner Bob Odenkirk. He's been on the picket line. So we'll see. I have the feeling that this will work eventually.
Well, the studios said that they want to meet with the unions this weekend. And then the unions kind of talked to them a little bit. Then the unions went to the actors and writers and said, don't get your hopes up.
Oh.
We don't think they're serious.
Okay.
Well, the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in November of 2022, Brian Koberger, his attorneys in the last court appearance said, our client has an alibi.
Ooh, really?
He has
Can't
an
wait
alibi.
to hear what this is.
Who's his alibi?
An attorney for Brian Koberger claims that he was driving alone at night at the time of the killings of the 4 University of Idaho students.
And
Through his defense attorney, Ann Taylor, Koberger has responded to the state's motion to compel a motive of defense of alibi, or in other words, to compel the defendant to reveal his alibi now if he has one.
So they've been teasing.
Yeah.
And so the prosecution said, you have an alibi, really? Well, you have to tell us who it is.
So he wrote in that a response to that, Koberger.
In a note.
So Taylor, his attorney, writes in response that Koberger has a long-time habit of driving alone at night and was allegedly on a long drive the night of November 12, 2022.
By himself.
Well into the morning of November 13th.
Possibly.
Koberger cannot point to any specific witnesses to corroborate where or when he was, other than to say he could not have been at the Kings Street house because he was out driving.
I love that the judge
alone
called
at night.
I love that the judge called them on this. Really, you have an alibi.
You have an alibi.
What is it?
Yeah.
Well, the objection does state that Koberger was out driving alone
for hours,
a long time at night. It appears that no one at this time, can corroborate maybe where or when or where he was on that night. The attorney Taylor states in the objection that they believe that either through cross-examining the state's witnesses or through expert witnesses called by the defense at trial. The objection does take specific note of the defense's apparent annoyance with the state for opting to use a grand jury to indict Koberger rather than schedule a preliminary hearing, saying the state has chosen a secret grand jury rather than a planned preliminary hearing. Had the state moved forward with the preliminary hearing, the defense would have had the opportunity to develop testimony through cross-examination and witness presentation. But as for right now, he could not possibly have done it because he was out driving alone at night.
Yeah.
For a long distance.
Clearly, I would declare.
Throw it out.
I want a mistrial.
Throw the case out. Throw it out right now. A state of emergency was declared in Draper after an intense storm hit the city, causing road damage and flooding in homes. Draper Mayor Troy Walker issued the state of emergency just after 1 a.m. Thursday morning. Thursday morning or this morning?
Today's Friday.
I know. It should be this morning.
I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says here Thursday, but it would have been 1 a.m.
Last night.
Maybe it was Thursday night. Yeah.
Well, it says here 1 a.m. Thursday morning. I think it's 1 a.m. Friday morning. As residents headed out to clean up and clear out homes in the city. Bangerter Highway between 138th South and Highland Drive is still shut down, Gina?
I haven't seen anything about it opening.
Flooding and road buckling. Draper City officials announced other closures: Highland Drive, Bangerter Highway, Minuteman Drive. It's likely the roads will be impacted probably still throughout the rest of the morning. The Highway Patrol sent out an alert on that the on-ramp on I-15 southbound at 146 South had been shut down because of a mudslide. The storm came in from the southwest, rolled into Draper and Sandy, bringing heavy rain and lightning. One report says part of the road near Traverse Ridge was collapsed, although the extent of that wasn't known.
And it ruined the Offspring show and the Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, it says here, guests at USANA Amphitheater in West Valley evacuated during the Offspring Sum 41 concert due to weather. Yep. Katie among them. Mm-hmm. People being advised to get into their vehicles and stay there.
Katie got her T-shirt though, so
that's all that matters.
And in Sandy, the Real game was delayed and then canceled.
It's going to be tonight at 7.
Let's see here. A Utah teenager died at Sand Hollow State Park yesterday while paddleboarding,
without
according to
a life jacket.
Yeah. The 15-year-old South Jordan boy. That's Sand Hollow. That's a weird place. I went there for the first time this spring.
See a picture of it at x96.com.
Oh wow! It's very odd. It's a artificial reservoir out in the middle of the desert,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just some place where there was a hollow that they could dam off a stream and fill it up.
Yeah,
and it's really an odd place.
And
I
it's
think.
very uneven, and the depths are very different.
Yeah,
in
some
different
places it's just really shallow. At the time of so the boy, it was a 15-year-old boy from South Jordan, Landon Crook. He was on the South Beach area of the park with his family when he fell off his paddleboard at 10 a.m. After they called for help when he didn't resurface, first responders found his body about 25 feet of water later on. At the time of the fall, the weather was relatively calm. The surface of the temperature of the water, about 80 degrees. Landon was not wearing a life jacket. Remember, people go out on paddleboards and they'll take a life jacket and they'll just sit it on the paddleboard.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't do you any
You
good.
really ought to probably be wearing it.
Indeed.
A century-old building in Weber Canyon was a total loss after lightning struck it on Tuesday afternoon. Mountain Green Fire Protection District said lightning hit a power pole at the Rocky Mountain Power hydroelectric facility in Weber Canyon at approximately 6 p.m.
Oh, there it is.
The ensuing fire burned through the pole and caused a transformer to fall and set the 100-year-old spillway control house on fire.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful old brick building, and it's in the river, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't think they use it for hydroelectric power anymore. It's just because it says here that they had been planning on tearing it down.
It's still a cool old building.
Yeah, it's just a historic structure, and it was really it was just always sort of a landmark.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go up Weber Canyon a lot, and it was, and you'll see it if you go up Weber Canyon to go to Trapper's Loop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you won't anymore.
No.
It's gone.
All right.
That it?
Unless you have a quickie.
Let's see if this is quick. Let me just click on this one. Kimberly Winter of Spotsylvania, Virginia, now holds the Guinness World Record for the world's loudest belch by a woman.
What?
As her enormous belch is about as loud as a motorcycle at full throttle.
Well,
I think maybe there's a recording of this. We should play it. Winter, also known as, it doesn't matter, it's her TikTok name, broke the record April 28th when she told the Post she was with a bellowing belch that was 107.3 decibels. That's pretty loud.
Is this did she drink Coke? What did she?
She
how'd
said
she
I had
get it going?
She said I had an iced coffee and a breakfast sandwich from Dunkin'
Really?
and one beer as backup.
Oh, the beer, yeah, that'll do it. I was going to say Sprite, please, if you're doing belches.
Yeah, she had the beer and the iced coffee.
Yeah.
She said there was a previous record holder, a woman in Italy, but she beat her by 0.3 decibels.
USA. All right. Sports, weather, traffic.
Cast of The Sandlot's returning to Utah once again to answer questions. Watch the movie at the iconic Sandlot location. The reunion is August 5th at 1392 Glen Rose Drive in South Salt Lake. That's the location where it was filmed. Yep. And gates will open for general ticket holders at 4 p.m. They'll have autograph signing with the cast, Q&A portion of the event, and then you can watch the show. So lots of folks in Utah love that Sandlot is part of our part of our culture.
Yep.
And as we were saying earlier, that Real Salt Lake game from last night has been rescheduled for tonight at 7 p.m. Should not be any weather issues for either of those events.
I hope.
Looks like our weekend is sunny and beautiful. Today, 86 for a high. Tomorrow, 90. And then we just sort of stay in the upper 80s to low 90s all the way until the first part of next week. Traffic. Let's see if we've got anything new to tell you about. There's a rollover crash on the exit ramp from westbound I-80 to Wright Brothers Drive. It's affecting the right shoulder there. Crash eastbound 201 freeway approaching 32nd West. The right lane and shoulder are blocked there. Park City Song Summit is back for 2023, September 7th through the 9th in Park City. It's a multi-day music and wellness event featuring intimate conversations and musical performances with artists from all over the country. Full lineup and ticket information is at x96.com, or perhaps you will win a 3-day pass from us right now.
Oh.
Text the word TOPS, TOPS, TOPS to 33986 now to enter to win.
All right. Thank you very much.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains, the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we find our elders wandering around the streets of the Mos Eisley Spaceport, a more wretched hive of scum and villainy you'll never find. Let's listen. I just don't want to hang around here anymore. This place is pretty creepy.
Well, if we could just find the right parts, I can have your hyperbike making light speed in no time.
Well, where in heaven's name are we going to find parts for a hyperbike on this backwater planet?
This looks like a good place to start.
A cantina?
Yep.
We can't go into a place that serves Icky Alderaan ale and Icky Tatooine whiskey.
Oh, to heck with the rules. Your hyperbike ain't going to fix itself. Hey, we don't allow your kind in here.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We'll just be on our way.
Well, I meant the droids.
Let's go somewhere where we will be appreciated, R2. Oh, don't ask me. I have no way of determining whether or not his parents were siblings.
Hey, Lehigh, check out that cool-looking guy sitting by himself over there.
Which guy?
The one sitting next to that giant furry carpet. He looks like the kind of guy who would know his way around the black market. I'll bet he can help us out.
That giant furry carpet is breathing and just happens to be heavily armed.
Follow my lead. Excuse me, sir, but I believe that you could be of some service to us.
Yeah, what is it, kid? You want to make the Kessel run on the fastest ship in the quadrant?
No, sir. We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
He just wanted me to remind you that Wookiees have been known to rip the arms off of missionaries if they stick around too long. So what is it then? Do you need me to smuggle a shipload of Bibles somewhere?
No, but if you need a complimentary copy of the Book of Mormon, we can arrange that.
All I need is a charge blaster by my side. I ain't putting my faith in some hokey old religion.
Well, I believe that you would find the Book of Mormon to be more powerful than any blaster, and it serves to recharge us rather than us needing to recharge it.
Yeah, whatever you say, kid. What is it that you guys came in here for anyway?
We need a plasma inverter for a Mark 32 hyperbike.
You guys got any cash on you?
Cash? No, we don't.
Well, maybe we could work something out. You see that guy by the bar?
The green guy?
His name is Greedo, and he's looking for me. Now, you guys keep him busy while Chewie and I here make a break for it, and you'll find a plasma inverter on your hyperbike when you get outside.
You got a deal. Let's go, Lehigh.
Aiding and abetting suspected felons. Zone Leader Henson will not like this.
Now, maybe we won't put it on our report, okay? Excuse me, Mr. Greedo, sir. Hi, I'm Elder Jensen, and this is Elder Christiansen.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Will Lehigh and Butch ever get the plasma inverter off of this godforsaken rock of a planet? Will Han Solo try to shoot his way out of his neck scrape, or will he try using the Book of Mormon? Will Greedo join the church just to get away from our elders? Tune in next time to hear Lehigh say, I can't believe we got thrown out of a sleazy cantina for bothering the regulars.
Well, beats the heck out of having your arms pulled off by a Wookiee.
On the next eye-crossing episode of Space Elders!
45 right now, and we do have the Boner Recap coming up, the easiest contest we have on the radio, because It was an hour ago. We told you the answer to the question. Who won the boner today? Easy. So that's coming up just after 9 o'clock, your chance to win. Now, this was interesting to me. I don't think that there is a rash of this thing happening. I think this is some isolated incidents.
What's that?
But it's interesting. The headline reads, Barbie movie is ending relationships left and right.
Huh?
Yeah. More than a week after the release of the Barbie movie, social media is full of stories of women who say they deeply reconsidered their relationships after seeing the film.
Wait a minute.
It's in that Reddit, I think it's Reddit, Am I the A-hole?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, subreddit. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my boyfriend over the Barbie movie? This woman asks, before sharing the story of how her boyfriend complained to her about the movie's feminist themes after they left the showing. On TikTok, another woman said that the Mattel movie inspired her to break up with her boyfriend after a string of bad behavior on his part. Thank you, Barbie, for empowering me, for giving me the confidence, for making me realize I deserve better.
Well, now, Carrie, if you're saying you're thinking maybe these are just sort of isolated incidents.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that there is a rash of this.
I hope so as well.
Because it sounds like these guys needed to be broken up with.
And that's what I'm learning as the story goes on. It's some of the examples of the way that these guys reacted to a movie. Let's see. Teresa shared on Twitter that her ex-boyfriend's reaction in the theater was just the push she needed to call it quits. He's a good guy, she said, but they were having issues long before seeing the movie. Their lived experiences are pretty different, and the Barbie movie highlighted just how differently that they each view the world. She said, I was invested in the movie that I really didn't even recognize how he was perceiving it until he asked me, are you crying? 2 or 3 times throughout. After the movie, we amicably came together to recognize that we're just not on the same wavelength. We could argue till the end of time what gender or sex has a tougher time going through life. Barbie has helped me graduate out of a cycle of overextending myself into spaces or around people I don't truly resonate with to get myself back to discovering what I want out of life.
Isn't it better to come to that realization and take an action rather than persist in some relationship for a long time with somebody that you don't share views with?
And there's more. Elsewhere on TikTok, women were sharing about how they plan to use what did you think of Barbie as a litmus test for dating. Now, it should be noted that plenty of men passed this test easily. They even dressed up in pink for the movie, and they sympathized with their girlfriend or wives after seeing it. If you go see it with a guy who says, Ken did nothing wrong, patriarchy is good, then you need to get rid of them.
Yeah, no kidding.
According to Megan Gotham on TikTok.
And just to reiterate, the Barbie movie is not a man-hating movie.
Not at all.
If you feel that way about it, you're wrong.
Something wrong with you.
Not what that's about.
Well, Melanie, a 27-year-old from Florida on TikTok, said how she hopes that straight women use the movie to get a read on the men that they're seeing. She recommends this movie and Gone Girl for this as well. Barbie teaches us to empathize with other people as well as ourselves. If someone is able to express how the movie made them feel rather than just surface-level themes, it shows they can recognize their own feelings and communicate them.
I thought it was interesting. I forget who said it. It was a reviewer or something. Said, really, this movie is not... Barbie is not the star of this movie. Ken is. Ken goes through this huge process of self-discovery. And
Barbie supports him in it.
Yeah.
Barbie doesn't hate Ken.
No.
Do you know what? Barbie's just not into Ken. And that's okay, too.
I think it's interesting. Barbie doesn't... Ken expresses his dissatisfaction about being just arm candy, and
she's like, don't be armed. You're enough
but
by
at first
yourself.
But at first she doesn't understand that. Yeah. She said, "What? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean?"
I don't think every man needs to be as excited or want to see Barbie as much as their partners, but I think a guy should be able to set aside 2 hours to see a movie that's important or exciting to whoever they're dating without putting it down or complaining about it. I do think if a guy has a strong negative reaction to just the idea of seeing the movie or feminine interests, that's a red flag.
I told you earlier.
Dragging me to another chick flick.
I told you earlier about yesterday this cute video that Utah football, the official Utah football Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
They do these posts where they ask them all a question, the same question as they're leaving practice, and they asked them yesterday, "What's the last movie you cried in?" And a couple of them said the Barbie movie.
The Barbie movie. Let's see. There is a significant difference between I didn't like the movie, but I'm glad you enjoyed it, versus I hated it because it was woke garbage.
And you could just say you don't get it. That's okay, too.
Mm-hmm.
I was stunned when I heard, people on other radio stations saying, I couldn't, with the guy saying, I couldn't stand that movie. And the woman also, a woman on another radio station. I just didn't understand that at all. I didn't think it was funny. It was just.
and this is also true. Other women who saw the movie gave props to director Greta Gerwig for capturing so many real experiences of women dating or in relationships, having to sit through the Godfather trilogy while your new boyfriend offers armchair commentary.
Yeah.
That's true. And I'm guilty of that. And yeah, the patriarchy sucks that way, yes.
Yeah.
See, the thing I thought about the patriarchy that I agreed with was when Ken said, I was disappointed when I found out it wasn't all about horses. And I'm like, well, I love horses too. I could be for the patriarchy if it was all about horses. Because they have all this horse imagery throughout.
Well, maybe it's a spoiler. I was going to ask you a question, but I realize it might be a spoiler, so I'll ask off the air.
Okay.
Let's see. Here we go. There's some more. Jessica, 25-year-old from Tennessee, who asked us only to use her first name for privacy, related to the moment when Barbie wants to apologize to Ken for not reciprocating his feelings, even after he steals her house and takes away her power. During her divorce, Jessica said she was overly apologetic for abandoning their marriage, even after learning her husband had been cheating on her for about 6 years. I even asked him, "Are you mad at me?" Jessica said, It's astonishing to me how women are so apologetic, empathetic, and introspective, even after their partner hurt them in the worst ways, and I'm glad that they got that in the movie."
Yeah.
Now, it looks like it's starting to get into some spoiler territory in the rest of this article, but, it's, as a guy, you need to be able to look around you and when the women tell you that patriarchy is a real thing, listen to them.
Well, and if I may pivot back.
I'm sorry, are you speaking?
If I may pivot back to the Godfather movie example.
Yes.
I would say if a woman would like her significant other to come to the Barbie movie and he might not get it, but he appreciates that she did, I would pivot the other way and say, watch the Godfather trilogy with your boyfriend. In the same way, and you can also say, I don't get it, but if you love it, I am happy for you. Can do the same thing with the Godfather movie.
Or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is on Disney Plus now, and I'm going to watch tonight, honey.
Oh, some of the
I still haven't seen that. You have, right?
Oh, yeah.
Some of the Ute players said that is the movie they cried at.
Oh, it will. It will make you cry and make you a vegetarian.
I can't watch it then.
It's the whole Guardians trilogy. It's just so good. Just so good.
Oppenheimer didn't make me cry.
It didn't?
No.
Did it unsettle you, though?
Did it make you introspective?
Yeah, and the end of it is unsettling.
Yeah.
I mean, really unsettling. And, yeah.
I left it going, well, great. That's just great.
Yeah.
That's out there.
Yeah. Well, but the thing about that is, Gina, is that we all know that it's out there.
Do we?
Yes. We just have not been forced to think about it for a long time.
Which is why this is good timing.
We were forced to think about it a lot when I was a kid because we had all kinds of drills at school about what to do when the nukes come, and there were bomb shelters everywhere.
But at the end of that movie, there wasn't so much of it. Now, lots of countries have the ability to do that.
Yeah, well,
and that's frightening.
Even though just the Russians and the Americans had it, that was plenty.
Mm.
And nobody would listen to poor Robert about the whole thing.
Mr. Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway.
movies.
Yes.
Bomb will have on Japanese morale, and that we may have to destroy 4 or 5 cities before they actually believe we have such a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I was making this recommendation to people because they were fascinated with Oppenheimer, and they were like, I want a documentary or something. I said, well, this is not Oppenheimer specific. It's adjacent.
We shall continue to use it.
It's The Atomic Cafe, which is an old documentary. And all it is clips from these old, educational films and news footage of the time.
Yeah.
It is an awful responsibility which has come to us. We thank God that it has come to us instead of to our enemies. And we pray that he may guide us to use it in his ways and for his purposes.
The atomic bomb.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah. Isn't it, though?
When I was a kid, there was like a 6-minute little cartoon thing on TV about the an atomic blast happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed... And I don't know why they showed this. I've looked it up before, and I can't remember how it happened. But it shows cartoon faces of people, and then their eyes disappear.
Yeah,
and stuff like it. And it was, and I'm like 5 or 6 years old, 10 years old, watching this, going, "Oh my God!"
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, it's not Oppenheimer specific. It's Oppenheimer adjacent. It gives you a look around the country.
I think there are clips from that cartoon in the Atomic Cafe.
Oh, there is. There's all the educational films, and about how to survive.
Mm-hmm. If you have a shovel, you can just dig a little hole then cover yourself up with dirt.
That was one of the instructional videos that they gave you.
From the federal government.
Why then, with all this strength, should we be worrying at times about what the world is doing to us? Actually, we see threats coming from all angles, internal and external, and we wonder what's going to happen to us individually.
Yeah, so don't worry about the bomb. There are plenty of other things to worry about.
We have a crash at the exit ramp westbound I-80 to Wright Brothers Drive. The right shoulder's blocked. There's a rollover crash there. Eastbound 201 freeway approaching 32nd West exit. The right lane and shoulder are blocked. And several issues in Draper due to the flooding. They have released a state of emergency, and there are several roads and areas being affected by debris and still standing water and damaged roads. So be aware of all that.
All right. Thank you very much. KXRK Provo. We will take a break. We'll be back right after these messages and a song. It's the Boner Recap Contest. Call and line up now. The sooner you get in line, the better your chances of winning. 877-602-9696. All you have to do is tell us who won the boner this morning, and you'll win.
You will win Utah Presents. So they do all kinds of shows, music, dance, theater, film. It will be a pair of tickets to your choice of Utah Presents events.
So what's the website?
UtahPresents.org.
UtahPresents.org. Go there to see if there's a show you want to see. More than likely there is. And then call 877-602-9696.
Ladies.
You do? And now, a morsel of murder with Gina Barberi. Radio from Hell on X96.
Now, I have previously addressed this morsel of murder. However,
so we're revisiting
murder.
Better details have come to light, and you know how I love
new S has come to light.
Details.
Okay.
Larry and Bianca Rudolph.
All right.
No strangers to guns, big game hunting. During their 34-year marriage, the couple stalked animals all over the world.
Murder.
But at a remote safari camp in Zambia in 2016, where Bianca was hoping to bag a leopard. Oh, if I'm lucky, I'll bag a leopard. Her 12-gauge shotgun went off in the early morning hours of October 11th.
Mm-hmm.
The blast hit the 56-year-old mother of two in the chest, killing her. Larry, 67, said he was in the bathroom when the gun went off and dashed into the bedroom where he discovered Bianca lying on the floor.
Oh, wait, was there a leopard in the bedroom?
No. Authorities quickly ruled her death as accidental, but the grieving spouse soon raised suspicions of officials. Within days of Bianca's death, he had her body cremated. You know, when you do that quickly, it's maybe you're trying to hide something.
Okay.
Authorities also discovered he'd collected nearly $5 million in life and accidental insurance benefits.
Well, he was entitled to it, wasn't he?
Bianca was very Catholic. He did not hold a Catholic mass or funeral for her funeral. It was just a quickie cremation, quickie funeral.
Yeah.
All right.
Now,
there's nothing here yet that says that he murdered.
Hold on. After a 5-year investigation, Larry was arrested in 2021. During his dramatic trial, he testified in his own defense saying, "I did not kill my wife. I would not murder my wife." Well, he'd been having an affair. Now, his defense for that was, we had an open marriage. Bianca knew about this. Everybody knew.
Okay.
This was, we loved each other, but, we'd been married for 30-something years, and, you get bored.
Okay, now still we have all these suspicions, but is there any concrete evidence?
In the end, it may have been Larry's own words that sealed his fate.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
At a Phoenix steakhouse, where Larry and the girlfriend, Lori, were dining, a bartender overheard and later testified about an explosive argument between the pair who were regulars.
Larry and Lori?
Quote, Larry and Lori were having a drink. There was music in the background. It made it difficult to hear conversation, but at some point, all of a sudden, the music stopped, and in the brief interlude between songs, the bartender heard Larry yell, "I killed my hugging wife for you."
Well,
I'd say that's
that puts a lock on it.
He and Lori were having an argument, the bartender said, and he pulled out the ace up his sleeve, the trump card he could use to win any argument with Lori.
Of course.
Sure. You're right, Larry.
What more does she want from him?
I'm
he
sorry.
Killed his wife for her.
You're right, Larry.
I've
I'm
done
sorry.
everything for you.
Now, Larry took the stand in his own defense and said he misheard. I never said
No.
that. But the jury said no.
It sealed the deal for
tracks.
them. So is that enough? Still, without physical evidence, that's enough.
I think authorities were suspicious with the $5 million, the hurried, cremated funeral.
I'm sure he's maintained his innocence even in prison.
Yes, he's appealing his verdict. But you can picture the scene though at the steakhouse with the music, and just one song stops as another one's starting. I killed my wife for you, and that's probably not the first time he pulled that out.
Well, yeah,
but it could also be he didn't do it, but to control his girlfriend, he told her he did. That's what I would say if I were in his shoes. I'd say, I just said that to keep her in line, to control her. She was always arguing with me. If I can make her believe that I killed my wife, which I didn't.
You should be his attorney, Bill. That's a good defense.
I'd be Alan Shure. James Spader.
Yeah, a guy in the chat room says, did he follow up with, and I'll kill you too?
Yeah. I'm sure I've done it before.
I've killed before.
I'll get another shotgun.
I'll do it again.
You want to go hunting? Let's go hunting leopards.
Yeah.
Come on.
You don't really want to hunt, do you? We don't like it hunting.
So I know I've brought that one up before, but it just got better. I couldn't not share.
That morsel.
I killed my wife for
that morsel was not in the previous story.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, it looks pretty. I'd try. That's what I would do if I was his lawyer. But You probably wouldn't win.
Corey in the chat room says other things was the location of the gunshot wound, and the FBI couldn't get the shotgun to misfire again.
Yeah.
So they were on to it.
They had their guy.
They were pretty sure.
But isn't that romantic? They hunted big game all over the world together. You'd think a marriage like that could last anything.
Yeah, I know. It's too bad that they couldn't make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, they were happy for a while.
Right. Well,
but after a few kills, that gets old too. You know.
Oh, you got to get something bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
That's funny. I killed my wife for you.
My wife for you.
So if you're confessing to murder, always make sure the music is playing. You know.
And you got to think of Larry's position here. What a great ace in the hole. You know, what a great card to play.
Use that forever
if
you're careful about it.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to start using that.
Well, I could just see it in everyday life, you know. Honey, would you get the phone? Well, you're right next to it.
Yeah.
I killed my wife for you.
Yeah. There you
Take out the
All right,
trash.
I know.
I killed my wife for you. All right. Where's dinner? I killed my wife for you.
Yeah. Again with the I killed my wife for you.
How long are you going to hold this over my head?
You go to therapy and talk about it. It was a long time ago he killed his wife for me. What have you done for me lately?
Listen, doctor, I killed my wife for her, okay?
If you kill somebody else for me, maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll go.
What have you done for me lately?
What about my boss? Why don't you kill my boss for me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go. Morsel of murder. Uh, 877-602-9696 is the number to call. We've got a line open. We need the backups.
Let me tell you what you can win.
Yes.
Tickets are on sale now for a breathtaking season of music, dance, theater, and film at Utah Presents. Visit utahpresents.org to secure your seats and save big with no fees before August 18th. Now, we have a pair of tickets. So what you'll do if you win this is, we'll say here, your tickets, they're good for any show. So you go to utahpresents.org. There's a whole bunch of different stuff you can choose from there, and you'll have tickets to go.
All right. So 877-602-9696. We need some backups because if Dave gets it wrong, we're going to have to go to someone else.
Oh, you'll get it, won't you, Dave?
You think, Dave?
Of course.
All right. Dave, where are you calling from, by the way?
I am calling from Clearfield.
Okay, here we go, Dave. I'm going to read the boner candidates to you, and then you will have the opportunity to tell me the winner. And when you do that, you'll get the tickets to Utah Presents. There's boner candidate number 1, Caviezel and General Flynn. Oh, boy. Jim Caviezel claiming that the CIA will have to kill him if they want him to stop exposing child sex trafficking.
You haven't exposed any.
And he's in that film, The Sound of Freedom, and he's making these comments to General Michael Flynn, who is also a conspiracy theorist and a lunatic.
And neither of them have proven anything.
No. And then boner candidate number 2, Rhonda makes another brilliant move. That's Florida Governor Ron DeSantis calling for slitting the throats of government officials when he gets into office. I'm going to cut those federal employees out. I'm going to slit their throats.
Oh, it's just as a figure of speech. I didn't really mean it.
And then there was boner candidate number 3. Well, that's what you do. You blow stuff up. A man threatening to blow S up after showing up late for an airplane flight. Those were the 3, Dave. Which was the winner?
Oh, gosh. I'm saying that's what you do. You blow stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
What else was he supposed to do? I mean, come on.
The other 2 split the vote, and so that allowed number 3 to win.
Did you expect me to arrive on time for my flight? Come on.
Well, we're going to have to read you your rights. I'll blow you up, too. All right, congratulations, Dave. Hang on the line, and somebody will tell you what you need to do next.
Yes, hang on.
Did you just send me that, Gina?
I did.
Maybe we ought to mention it here because of the boner.
Because of the mention, yeah.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the thousands of patrons of the crowd-funded anti-child trafficking film Sound of Freedom was arrested and charged for child kidnapping, according to a court filing. Fabian Marta was charged with felony child kidnapping in July, has since removed post from Facebook. So at the end of the movie, there's a list of some people that have donated to it.
Donated to support the movie and get it made.
Yeah, and it says Fabian Marta and family appears on the list of funding contributors of the film's credits about 129 minutes into the runtime. So his name is on there. Doesn't say the specifics of the child kidnapping charge that he was arrested on, but interesting development.
Yeah. Again, and anytime these guys make accusations, it's a confession.
That's what it seems like.
Seems like it.
Marta's name appears in the movie's credits as among the investors who helped bring Sound of Freedom to theaters. Yeah, well, there you go.
Now, this is not to say that child sex trafficking doesn't happen,
and
that isn't a bad thing that should be investigated.
Which is whenever you point out that this movie is full of crap and stuff, that's the one argument they go with. Oh, so you're for child sex trafficking?
No, of course not.
Not. Say that these people are lying to you. They are grifters. Anyway, all right.
So there's that.
There's that.
I'm going to be in Ogden tomorrow.
Are you?
And then there's this.
11 to 1 at Ken Garf Honda. 11 to 1 on Riverdale Road,
950 West,
950
Riverdale
West,
Road.
Riverdale Road. And so you should come there. I'll have prizes.
You'll have Radio from Hell mugs and the brand new X96 T-shirts.
See, right away. First text. I'm confused that y'all are saying shedding light on child trafficking is bad. That's not what we're saying.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No. And again, that's the only argument that you have. That's the only place you go.
Don't give these people money. This is a
that's the
giant
point.
fundraiser.
It's a scam. All right. We will take a break. We will be back with your big boy news and opinioendo all on the way.
X96 presents live music for super cheap. See 2 new bands for one low.
Tonight on the Channel 2 News at 10, it's Rod Decker, Undercover. What goes on behind the counter of your favorite burger joint? Are you getting more than you bargained for when you order it to go? Should we pay fast food workers more? And just what's in those deep-fried chicken pieces everybody orders? Our undercover reporter, Rod Decker, puts on a paper hat, a uniform, and a plastic badge with the name Bob on it. And he takes his hidden camera to uncover the truth about fast food.
Okay, Bob, I'm your manager. We'll start you out on the counter and see how you do.
Very good, sir. Hello, may I take your order?
Yes. I'll have a big burger, a 6-piece chicken thing, and a large root beer.
Would you like fries with that?
No. If I had wanted fries, I would have asked for fries.
So what you're telling me is that you don't want fries with your order.
That is what I said, isn't it?
Bob, you're slowing us down here. The customers are backing up. Let's move you over to fries for a bit. You work out there. We might be able to promote you to grill. You screw up, buddy, you're out of here.
Okay, then.
Oh, hey, Bob, I'm Ted. Welcome to Fry's. Pay no attention to the assistant manager. One community college management course, and he thinks he's Ray Kroc.
I see. So what's your story?
I just need some spare cash. I don't see myself cleaning out the shake machine 10 years from now. Hey, Bob, Bill's brother here is smuggling a keg back from Evanston. Big beer bash tonight. You want to come?
So what you're saying is that there will be an illegal supply of alcoholic beverages available tonight.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. You're Rod Decker, the Channel 2 news guy. Hey, everybody, it's Rod Decker.
I'm afraid you're mistaken. My name is Bob. I'm just an everyday high school student trying to get by on minimum wage.
Hey, you are Rod Decker. Give me that paper hat. Did anyone tell him what's in the deep-fried chicken pieces?
No.
Good. Now back to work, all of you.
There you have it. Fast food workers seem to be highly trained professionals. The weak links, like me, get weeded out in a hurry due to first-rate management techniques. As for minimum wage, it seems to be enough for these kids to have beer money. And the deep-fried chicken pieces are still a mystery to me. This is Rod Decker, Undercover, KUTV News.
(9:18), all of that leftover news. It's time that a light is shed upon it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you took all the time to gather it.
Yeah.
You know.
It'll just go to waste.
I didn't take that much time today because I was late.
This news will be no good tomorrow.
That's true.
I usually have too much news. Today I don't.
All right. Big Boy News and Opinioendo now, brought to you by
Gracie's open daily for lunch and dinner, brunch Friday, Saturday, Sunday till 3 p.m. Enjoy Gracie's patio and live music, or watch your favorite sports in high def. Located at the corner of 3rd Southwest Temple. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Well, that mysterious object that was found washed up on the beach in Australia is a mystery no more.
Oh.
Now,
it's alien, right? Everything's alien now.
Some people had speculated that it was a piece of a Malaysian Airlines plane that disappeared over the Indian Ocean in 2014.
Oh.
Or some people speculated as Gina always wants to jump to the conclusion that it's an alien object. But no, but it is from space. They have determined it is a piece of debris from an Indian rocket. We have concluded the object located on the beach near Jurien Bay in Western Australia is most likely debris from an expended third stage of a polar satellite launch vehicle. The object is in storage, the Australian Space Agency said, noting that it was working with the Indian Space Research Organization to decide what to do next. A 1968 United Nations agreement requires countries to return recovered space debris to the country that owned it. A civilian had reported the object to police this month. And it's a big hunk of stuff. After it was found near Greenhead, a coastal town of about 300 people, about 155 miles north of Perth. The discovery came days after India successfully launched a rocket from its east coast bound for the moon. There's been a lot of space junk floating around. The U.S. Department of Defense tracks more than 27,000 pieces of orbital debris. So not only have we polluted the Earth, we're polluting outer space.
Oh, believe me.
Much more debris, too small to be tracked, but large enough to threaten human spaceflight and robotic missions, exists in the near-Earth space environment, says NASA's website. In 2021, NASA said that there were about 23,000 pieces of debris larger than a softball orbiting the Earth. It's not the first piece of space junk to be found around the world. Of course, last year, a sheep farmer in Australia found a pointy black piece of debris that was thought to have come from a SpaceX spacecraft. Earlier this year, investigators examined a giant metal ball that was found washed up on a beach in Japan. Turned out to be a buoy. And we're going to have a piece of space, a piece of something from outer space landing here in Utah.
Like
in September.
Expected?
Yes.
It's
in
on
September.
track for...
I've got the date somewhere, and I told you about it last week, I think. It's a
junk?
capsule. No, it's a capsule that has pieces of the asteroid that they shot a rocket into.
Oh, yeah.
Pieces of that asteroid.
Oh, to try to
inside of it.
kick it off course?
Yeah, or to see if that was possible. But so there's this capsule that's got pieces of that asteroid in it that they want to study, and this capsule has been it's on a trajectory. It will it'll enter the Earth's atmosphere over California and land out at Dugway.
What could go wrong?
I don't know. They're pretty accurate with doing a lot of that kind of thing.
No, I just mean bringing that part of that asteroid,
It'd be interesting to see what it's made of.
I saw a creep show. I know.
Last month, authorities...
Jordy?
Yeah, Jordy Mitchell, you are a lunkhead.
I saw that.
Last month, authorities say an Oregon man pretending to be a police officer kidnapped a woman in Seattle, drove her about 450 miles to his home in Klamath Falls, imprisoned her in a makeshift cell at his garage built with cinder blocks and a barred metal door. The woman escaped. And the man accused of taking her, identified as 29-year-old Nagasi Zubiri, was later arrested in Nevada, according to a criminal complaint. Now the FBI is searching for more victims that he might have kidnapped. They're searching for them in Utah.
Oh, really?
Zubiri, who police say also goes by Justin or Joshua Heishi, Sakima Zubiri, and Justin Kuasi, has spent time in 10 states over the last 10 years, according to the FBI, includes Washington County, Utah, down there in the St. George area. The Bureau believes he frequented the area since 2016. They could not specify exactly where in the county he spent time, but do believe he had a residence there. On Wednesday, representatives from the FBI said that they had reason to believe that there are more victims because Zubiri was soliciting the women for prostitution in Seattle and could have targeted sex workers in other states. Additional victims may be afraid to come forward, they say. It didn't just start overnight, and so we believe that there are victims across the country, and we have evidence that says that as well, says Joy Giras, who's with the FBI Portland office. There are people who are probably afraid to come forward to speak about it, and we're letting them know this is a safe place for them to tell their story. You know, they're afraid to come forward because they have been involved in sex working. So anyway, it'd be interesting to see how that develops.
Yeah.
You get on that, will you, Gina? That's your
all
story.
right,
That's
I'll
your kind of story.
follow that for you throughout the weekend.
Throughout the weekend.
A widow spoke of how her husband went to the Tree of Life synagogue to praise God
Oh, jeez.
and instead was riddled with bullets. A police officer described racing to the scene and finding his colleague who had taken a bullet to the head. A woman recalled finding her 97-year-old mother and her fading pulse as they cowered in the chapel after both being shot. These are survivors of the massacre and relatives of people who were murdered at the Tree of Life synagogue. They were confronting the gunmen in court yesterday with their stories of grief and anger. The U.S. District Judge Robert Colville sentenced the gunman, Robert Bowers, to death, imposing the sentence rendered by a jury earlier in the day. Well, you remember those two Tennessee House Democrats who were expelled from the House for taking part in a gun violence protest? They're two black House Democrats in Tennessee. They have both officially won re-election to their seats.
Good.
You mean they were elected by their constituents that want them in there? So leave them alone.
State Representatives Justin Jones and Justin Pearson's April expulsion drew national condemnation. President Biden hosted the duo at the White House later that month and called the move undemocratic. The expulsion by Tennessee's Republican-led legislature briefly disenfranchised about 140,000 voters in mostly black districts.
And remember, there were 3 representatives that participated, and one was a white woman, and she wasn't
thrown out. No.
Both candidates sailed through the primaries and were expected to win Thursday, given the heavily Democratic makeup of their districts. And, they did. They beat their Republican challengers handily.
And these were non-violent protests.
No.
Yeah. The whole incident has lit a fire under their supporters. They no longer they now no longer seem to represent just their districts. They have truly become symbols of free speech in the state legislature. Well, it's you like your drinking water.
As opposed to
arsenic is a naturally occurring element found in the Earth's crust, but exposure to arsenic through contaminated food or water is associated with various negative health effects, including cancer. Arsenic exposure is a global public health issue. A 2020 study estimated up to 200 million people worldwide are exposed to arsenic-contaminated drinking water at levels above the legal limit. You can have some arsenic in drinking water.
Yeah.
But if it goes above 10 parts per billion, then you're going to be sick. More than 70 countries are affected, including the United States, Spain, Mexico, Japan, India, China, Canada, Chile, Bangladesh, Bolivia, Argentina. Since many countries still affected by high levels of arsenic exposure is a global public health issue and requires urgent action.
How about old lace? Is that a problem?
It doesn't say so, no. Well, let's not. How much time do we have here?
You got a couple of minutes.
There was something noticeably absent when Special Counsel Jack Smith unsealed an indictment this week charging former President Trump with multiple conspiracies to overturn the 2020 election. Any count that directly accused Trump of being responsible for the violence his supporters committed at the Capitol. There's no mention of that in the charges.
Yet.
The indictment asserted that as violence erupted that day, Trump exploited the disruption, using it to further his goal of stopping the certification of the election, but they do stop short of charging him with actually encouraging or inciting the mob that stormed the building. The charging document filed in federal district court in Washington made abundantly clear that a group of his aides and lawyers were highly aware that he was playing with fire by pushing forward his plan to pressure Vice President Pence to throw the election his way. Some of the aides were aghast by what might and ultimately did take place. Others seemed unconcerned, especially those who were later named as Trump's co-conspirators.
Yep. They were counting on it.
Where is Stephen Miller in all of this, by the way?
He should be in there somewhere, but
you would think.
That's why we have an Insurrection Act. Find that part in the indictment and read that. That'll give you chills.
Yeah. And then finally, this story. Whenever I see the name Frito or Frito-Lay,
of course you have to stop.
I'm immediately drawn to the story. and I would love to give it to you now, but there it is. For the last several years, well, the mullet haircut. Been around for a while, but for the last several years, they've seen the mullet is now coming back.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at that. You say, yeah, you've seen people wearing mullets recently?
Yeah.
In this building.
Oh, I guess there is one guy, isn't there? Yeah. Even Planters Peanuts, the Planters Company, began selling mullet wigs. Everyone from Miley Cyrus to Paul Mescal, actor Paul Mescal, started sporting a mullet, and Frito-Lay took notice. The company, which happens to be one of the sponsors of the USA Mullet Championship, announced in August, in an August 2nd press release, that it's partnering with Floyd's 99 Barbershop to offer 1,000 free mullet haircuts. The limited time promotion is called Free Frito Flow Fridays, and every Floyd's location in the United States is participating. There are those who would like the hairstyle. They can book a Fritos Flow mullet appointment through floydsbarbershop.com every Friday in August. Because of how in demand this haircut has been, we anticipate appointments booking quickly, said Floyd's senior director.
It's a thing.
I don't really think we need to bring it back, do we?
No.
And do we need a mullet championship?
No.
Well, it could be entertaining.
All right.
Come on, Bobby. It's Frito Pie with Wolf Brand Chili Night.
There you go.
Right, that's it.
Weather?
Well, just gorgeous. Sunny, upper 80s, low 90s. So we're done with the rain. Looks like all the way into Tuesdays, where my forecast is showing it's just going to be nice. Go do summer things.
How warm is it going to be?
It's not going to get any warmer than like 92.
Okay.
So upper 80s, low 90s.
Okay.
Scales like armor, eyes like fire, dragons are real. See it to believe it. Reserve your visit at livingplanetaquarium.org to see the new Komodo dragon.
Thank you.
Listen to Radio from Hell and Home.
I've just been meaning to ask you, Gina, the last 3 days. I forgot. Well, the last 2 days.
What?
So you went to collect your daughter at camp.
Yes.
On Saturday, I think it was.
Friday.
And we'd had some discussion last week about the letters, and you had written a letter to her, a daily letter that she took with her.
Yes.
And you instructed her to open one a day.
Yes.
And being the good little girl she
Yes.
is, I'm sure that's exactly the way she did it.
Yes.
Whereas when I was a little kid, when I'd gotten to camp, I would just want to open them all.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to read them all. And then she was incommunicado
for a week.
For really 7 days? Was it 7 days?
Sunday to Friday.
Yeah, okay. And so the only communication that you could have with her would be a letter that she would send you.
Right.
And you kept waiting for the letter. And I said, you're not going to get the letter until after you pick her up. Have you received, as you went to get her and collected her tear-stained pillow and all of the soiled bedding and everything? And
she did very well, actually, at camp.
Well, I'm sure she did, but
I'm saying there wasn't a tear-stained pillow.
I joke.
I know. Okay. As I got home with her after we picked it up, it was in the mailbox.
As I thought.
Yes.
And was the letter tear-stained?
No.
Was it very detailed?
Yes.
What did she write it the first day, or did she just write it, like the day before you?
And then express it.
She wrote it halfway through, and she said, "Next year I know to write it earlier in the week."
But there you go.
But
it might have gotten to you.
Mm-hmm. But it was a happy letter. I'm
Okay.
having a great time. And she said, I knew you would ask, Mom. The food is great, is what the letter said.
Food is great.
I knew you would ask.
And then she had no trouble finding an owl to deliver it.
No,
Yes.
came right
Okay.
to the.
Right.
She's very, very methodical in her thinking. She said, I sent it on Wednesday. I should send it earlier next time.
but I should at least wait a day till I've done something to write about. So she's figuring out the best day to send it. It's probably Tuesday, and then I would get it. So, but she did great. She wants to go back. So
she did the rope swing. She swam in the lake. She went canoeing.
No,
killed a bear.
No,
none of that.
No.
What do they do? What do they sit around and sew?
They made bread.
That's not camp. You go out. You got to go out and kill squirrels and play capture the flag at night, and then kids get lost in the woods.
At the very least, play with the fire.
Yeah, roast no fire.
Poking a stick in it?
No.
They made bread. They had morning meditation.
What?
Sissy camp. We did yoga, Mom.
She loved it. That's all that matters.
Sissy camp.
Okay. Let's talk about Utah Presents.
Happy to welcome to our microphones Chloe Jones, who's the executive director of Utah Presents. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And now tell us, I know what Utah Presents is. Carrie, Gina does.
Mm-hmm.
But
you've been in those shows.
Yeah, I was in the White Rabbit, Red Rabbit show 3 years ago, was it? Or I think something like that. Which was a great experience for me. And I went to several shows as well. I went to the Magic Show, Scott Slivren. And then there was this really cool show with projections and puppets and film.
Utah Presents is all kinds of different stuff, right, Chloe?
Man.
We bring top flight artists from around the world here to Salt Lake to perform in our home theater of Kingsbury Hall and around town. And you're right, there's tremendous variety in our season by design. We're trying to create these unique cultural experiences to bring these unforgettable shows that are unlike anything you've seen before and anything you're going to find elsewhere in town.
Give us an idea of some of the unusual things that are coming. Like this, what is this Big Beats?
Big Beats is a free outdoor dance performance by New York City choreographer Joanna Kotza with 24 Utah-based dancers. It's happening at the Plaza outside the Downtown Library on August 25th. And the Plaza outside the Marriott Library on University of Utah's campus on August 26th. And again, it's free. The idea is you can just stumble into it, or you can plan to be there.
There's one here that really looks interesting to me, too. It's called Circa Humans 2.0.
This is one of the world's leading contemporary circus companies. It's circus unlike you've ever seen it before. They're coming all the way from Australia as part of an international tour. Super fun.
It says bodies are flying through the air.
They are.
Every which way. And then there are more, sort of less energetic offerings, I guess you would call them.
I'm listening.
Tell us about, just pick any one you want.
I'd love to highlight Music from the Soul. This is a group coming in March. It's a collaboration between Brazilian tap dancer and choreographer Leonardo Sandoval and composer and musician Gregory Richardson. It's tap dance and live music, Afro-Brazilian beats, really fun, impressive, unforgettable.
Also, you're bringing in Nickelodeon presents the SpongeBob musical.
We are. We have an annual collaboration with University of Utah's Youth Theater. So this will be little ones up on stage with SpongeBob.
And let's see, there was another. Oh, and then what can you tell me about this Alice? It's an operatic version of Alice in Wonderland?
It is. Every year we get to host one of the School of Music, again at University of Utah's operas. And this year they're doing the world premiere of Alice, the opera, and we're going to have a matinee for younger audiences.
All right. You see what it's just amazing.
It's just all kinds of things.
The number of things that are going on.
There's a mountain climbing film festival. It's part of it. There's this Step Africa, which looks great. And I'm not even a Christmas guy, but I think this Lower Lights Christmas concert looks interesting.
Well, people like at Christmas time to make that part of their Christmas traditions is going to different performances.
And this is not your typical Christmas concert. This is like a big band.
It's a big band. There's something for everything, everyone, I mean to say, in the Utah Presents season.
So you can subscribe to the season, or you can just buy individual shows that look good to you.
Correct.
So the best way to probably find out about how to do all of that is go to utahpresents.org. It'll give you the subscription packages that you could buy, or just the individual shows, right?
That's right. And tickets are on sale. There are no fees before August 18th. And tickets for most of these shows start at just $10. But those tickets go fast.
So get right on it. We've been giving a few away, but again, the no fees before August what?
18th.
18th. So utahpresents.org. Look at the offerings of these shows. 17 different things you could see. And at least one of them is free, so you don't even need a ticket for that.
True.
I just think it's a remarkable thing. How many years has Utah Presents been going? Do you know?
So
You're
we
new,
used
I
to
know.
be called. I'm new. We used to be called Kingsbury Hall Presents.
Oh,
Again, Kingsbury Hall is our home theater. And that series started in the early 2000s. Utah Presents came into existence in 2015.
There we go.
So it's really just a great variety and offbeat things that you won't see anywhere else. Chloe Jones, Executive Director, Utah Presents, thanks for being with us. And everybody go to utahpresents.org.
And take
Thank
a
you
look
so
at those
much.
shows.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We'll crawl towards the exits and have Boner of the Week after these.
Hi, I'm Todd Newcomb from X96, and you know what? For a lot of people, buying and selling.
Now, let me take you down memory lane. Okay. Just a few years back, the internet brought us a wonderful thing. I love cat videos, and this was one of my favorites.
That's a cat. It's really a cat.
It's really a cat.
house cat.
A house cat who appeared to be speaking and saying, "Old Long Johnson."
Yeah.
We projected it onto the poor kitty cat. I don't know. Well, people remember that.
Very well.
And 4 different people sent me this morning because this is the latest.
Another one, huh?
Well, this is a combo.
Different cat?
This is a combo platter. This is a different cat.
Okay.
And it's a guy who is a musician who calls himself the Kiffness, Kiff, the Kiffness.
Okay.
So he's taken some talking cat samples and turned it into a song.
All right.
So I don't know if you're ready for this or not, but here we go.
Oh, it sounds like Pearl Jam.
It does, doesn't it? Now what he's captioned it. So the cat is saying, "Hold on to my fur, I like it, when the dogs are barking." Did you hear that? Okay. So then he's taken his synthesizer and he started doing some samples, you know.
Kitty go purr when you hold on to his fur. Everything a blur. In a fast lane to the moon. Doggy go bark when you're cruising in the dark. Teeth so sharp, trying to bite him like a shark. No, we ain't coming down soon.
So there you go.
You could hear Eddie Vedder doing that. Hold on to my fur, like you, when the dogs are barking.
And then he's got a dog that it's growling at him, and he's manipulating the jaw to add a little background sound effects. Do you get the dog growl there?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I know you may not think of this much of the song right now.
No, I
but
don't.
I guarantee you, 4 hours from now, in your head.
When the dogs are barking. When the dogs are barking.
Hey,
I promise you, if this goes viral, you know, like Interscope Records will sign this guy like that.
I get a hold of the Kiffness for Interscope Records. There you go.
I've never experienced a cat in real life sounding like that.
Really?
No, never. I mean, I can't imagine that, you know. I have a cat now that has a distinctive meow and does it all the damn time, but not like it's talking.
Well, we got a new kitten about a year ago, and then within our household, so we have a kitty, an old lady kitty that's like 15, and it took her a minute to decide that she didn't hate the kitten because, you know, kittens are just little buttholes. And my wife had this video of the kitty and the baby kitty and the old kitty together, and the old kitty finally was like, all right, fine, I'll lick you and be nice. And so she's licking him, but growling at the same time. So she's being all sweet, licking the kitty, just kind of going, That's the closest to a talking kitty cat.
Yeah, that's the closest I've come to. Nothing sustained like these ones on YouTube. But you know,
And I like the chattering cat. When you
oh yeah.
I've had cats that do it. When they're looking at birds,
Right, a
usually,
bird or a bug
through the window
or a laser pointer.
That's a cat.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
That's a cat from the deep south.
It is a southern cat.
Yeah, it's from the deep south.
It is a southern cat.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Remember there was a South Park episode where they had the old Long Johnson kitty cat.
People are asking for a link. No. I'll just tell you, if you just go to YouTube and look for Hold On to My Fur Talking Cat Song, it'll come up.
Yeah. Or any Pearl Jam song, it's the same.
Any Pearl Jam is good. Kitty Vetter. Because on this day, happy 61st birthday to Paul Reynolds of A Flock of Seagulls. He was the lead guitar. His textural wash is what he referred to it as, contributed significantly to the group's sound, the echo-laden, unique guitar style. And that's why I picked that song, is because it kind of features it in there.
You find a current picture. I'd like to know if he still has his hair.
This is, I think he's teaching school now.
Remember that Flock of Seagulls, that hairstyle?
This is not him, yeah. But it's the guy with the glasses, the big glasses.
Didn't they all? I thought all of them had that hair.
No, just the Mike was his name, the keyboard.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, there you go. A little something different for you.
Dave, the flower guy, is here.
Yep.
Yep.
He sure is. I'm looking at him right now.
And He's looking at himself right now too. You like seeing yourself on the camera, Dave?
Okay.
It's okay. Good. You'd like to see that. Oh, you're kind of in shadow though. Let's see.
Yeah.
Move you.
No.
Can't get you into the light.
Don't
better.
make him move. He'll fall down again.
Yeah.
Don't.
Dave has. You have a dark tan because you're always working out in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so standing in the shadow, it makes it even harder to see you. But what's your hat say? Let's see. The local farmers market and bar. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do their lawn?
No, they don't have a lawn.
It's
but
all.
They buy
concrete.
my flowers, so.
Oh, they buy flowers. Yeah, nice. If you see Dave around town, he has flowers for sale as a general rule, and we'll sell them to you. And they're always about the same price, right?
Right.
$5?
$5.
$5 a bunch.
Or
Yeah.
if you see Dave on tracks, give up your seat and let him sit down, please.
Yeah, Dave has uses a cane, and he's a little unsteady. And when he's on the tracks train, he needs to sit down. And the other day,
Nobody moved for
nobody
him.
moved
and
for it. Did you ask them to move, or
Yeah.
they said no? And then the train started, and what happened?
I fell backwards and hit the back of the seat.
Oh.
And hit my
hit your shoulder. And you couldn't breathe, right?
I couldn't breathe for a while.
Knocked the wind out of you.
Yeah.
Well, so when you see Dave on tracks,
Let him have your
stand
seat.
up. Say, here, hard-working man, sit down. Are you ready to do Boner of the Week?
Yep.
Okay. Dave takes this job more seriously than any of his other jobs. Hey, Dave, here they go. Here we had 5 candidates this week. We worked all week. Number 1 from Monday. You jackasses, get out. Oh, that was Representative Derek Van Orden in Wisconsin, who insulted a group of 16, 17-year-old pages in the Capitol.
Was late at night.
They were laying on the floor on the rotunda taking pictures of the top of it, which people often do, apparently.
Yeah.
It was a very ornate, beautiful
yeah.
dome. And he just came out and started yelling at him, "Wake up, you effing little S's. What the F are you all doing here?" This is a United States congressman.
Yeah.
You're defiling this space, you pieces of S, and on and on.
And you know who defiled the space? You, when you were at January 6th, okay? You attended.
Yeah, Representative Van Orden was at January.
He's also under some impression that there are soldiers buried there, and they're not.
No.
They're not.
That's some rumor.
Yes.
Now, Boner candidate number 2 from Tuesday. Uncle, we are about to die. It's an African-American family who were in Texas and held at gunpoint by police, a case of mistaken identity. But they handcuffed this 6-year-old kid and taken him to the police car. Everybody's got their hands up, and the poor kid says, "Uncle, I think we're about to die." Boner candidate number 3, Dave, from Wednesday. Don't let Mike Huckabee teach your children. He's got a whole series of propaganda pamphlets aimed at young kids on various aspects like cancel culture and free speech, fighting socialism, media bias and fake news, and now he's got one about climate change, which is a hoax.
These are all from PragerU.
Yeah, these are from
and Mike Huckabee.
Mike Huckabee.
Neither of them are educators. They are radio scum.
And then number 4 from yesterday, showing homes is thirsty work. It's a Canadian real estate agent getting ready to show a home. He got thirsty. He went to the fridge with the full intention of finding some water to drink, he said. But there was a jug of milk, and he picked it up and swigged it right out of the jug and put it back into the refrigerator. He was caught on surveillance camera doing that. And then finally from today, that's what you do. You blow stuff up. We don't need to recap that one. You just heard it. Which one do you think?
Number 2.
Number 2, Uncle, we are about to die.
Oh, yeah. That was sad.
Yep, there you go.
Good choice, David.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Good
Yeah.
choice.
You need a place to sit down?
No.
He's going
Because
to
this studio takes off really fast.
He's going to the doctor.
Yeah.
Here's a texter. I hope all those people feel guilty for being dicks to our Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just Dave. Anybody that gets on that looks like they need to sit down, give up your seat.
Yeah, give up your seat when I get on the tracks train.
Exactly.
Bill needs to sit down.
I need to sit down.
Are you going to take the tracks to your remote today?
No, it's tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 11 to 1 in, no, it's up in Ogden.
Ogden.
Riverdale Road, 950 West Riverdale Road, Ken Garf Honda. Tomorrow, 11 to 1, I'll have mugs and T-shirts.
The
new
brand new
T-shirt.
design. So if you've gotten an X96 T-shirt in the past, you might need a new one.
It's a sort of a...
the Utah flag one.
Utah flag.
New
one.
Utah flag.
Yeah. Which we like.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that.
Oh, tragedy just in.
Oh, no.
Mark Margolis, actor on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, dies at 83. That's the guy in the wheelchair with the bell.
Oh, really?
The criminal mastermind guy.
Yeah.
Hector?
Is it Hector?
I think
that
it
his
is,
name?
yeah. It's the one where Gus Fring goes to... he goes and he's going to kill him or something. Then it blows up, and Gus Fring splits in half.
Half his face gets damaged. But it's the old guy with the bell in the wheelchair.
Hector.
Yeah, Hector. Yeah.
I love that character.
So Hector from Breaking Bad died. Mark
Hector
Margolis.
Salamanca.
Yes.
Yeah, he was not a good guy.
No, he was
a really bad guy.
Bad guy.
It was a good. You loved the character portrayal.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he was a bad guy, but I
83.
enjoyed him.
83. Tragedy. Right. Let's do the promo and crawl towards the exit sign, shall we?
Yeah.
We hope you're enjoying this beautiful summer weekend.
80s and sunny all weekend.
How do you know? You're not a meteorologist.
How do you know I won the 2017 Best Weather Guesser for Salt Lake City Award?
Unimpeachable credentials.
Radio from Hell, Unimpeachable Peach Lovers, Monday morning here on X96.
All right.
I had a peach just last night, a Brigham City peach.
I had a feeling. Tis the season.
Tis the season for the peaches?
Yeah, and they're really good if you go to one of those taggy fruit stands.
I need some.
Or probably the farmer's market will have them.
I need a peach.
Just one peach?
Just one.
How come just one?
Because that's all. That's all we can have in the house.
Until like at a time.
And then you eat that peach, and when you eat that peach, then I'll get you another one, maybe.
No, that's actually smart because they have the tendency to not get eaten and go bad.
Yes. So
now, if you want a frog and peach, you can go to the Frog and Peach,
and order frog a la pêche
or pêche a la frog,
depending.
You get a really damn fine frog and a really damn fine peach.
Yes.
That was sort of minor farting around, I think.
That was a little bit. It felt good though. Yeah. Let's see. I think we're all taken care of, aren't we? Fine job as always, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Hey! Don't you know who I am?
One peach. You get one
peach. Yeah, that's all we need. Marcy is next.
Well, that about does her.